It's Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Poker. You know the game?
Clobberanimo!
Come get some.
It's Clobberin time! I just love Clobberin time!
The word is given.
Clobberanimo!
Yeah. All right. Welcome. Greetings, my friends. Clobberers, clobberanimos, clobberuskis, clobberians, clobberoids, clobberologists, all of those who clobber. And if you do not yet clobber, just remember you could clobber someday as long as you learn how to bang the rocks together, guys. Shout out to Wagner. Welcome to Clobberin Times issue number 482 on YouTube, of course. 1,482 overall for 15 years this past week. Wild Card Wednesday night, the night where I get wild and cardy and just hang out with my good friends and anything goes. Whatever you guys want to talk about, as long as it falls into the geek sphere. That's how we roll up in here. Sometimes it's wild card because sometimes we could throw a topic out there if I plan enough in advance, bring a guest on, something like that. Other times it's just you and me, baby. Me as in you and me and my clobberers in the chat. So hopefully we will have all kind of, well, there's never a shortage of geekness to geek out about, is there? And I want to thank everyone who was here Monday night for Monday Night Mark C Comics Top. The great Mark D with the C who had joined me. And of course, all of my fantastic friends who geeked out with me. It was terrific. And I hope you're all doing well on this hump day. Ready to get past the best bigger part of the week. So before I do some shouty outies, let's do some show notes right quick. Then we'll get to the show notes, and then we'll just get to hanging out and doing nothing in particular. That's what we do best, isn't it? Let's see. Of course, tomorrow night, the clubhouse is in session. Same Clobby time, 9 p.m. Central, same Clobby channel, right here on Clobber Times, is, of course, Clobby's Clubhouse. And it will be our usual slate of fun geekness, a Blake 7 episode reviewed, a Kolchak the Night Stalker episode reviewed, and an issue of Star Trek Unlimited, a comic book of course, Star Trek comic, reviewed by, of course, my wonderful first officer, our amazing chief engineer, and me, Clobby, and other geekness. So that's always a lot of fun at the Clobby's Clubhouse. And then Of course, on Thursday night, I will be hanging out with the great Tom Connors on the great Midnight and his amazing Midnight Edge After Dark channel with that Augusta group over there. And then Friday nights on my good buddy J-Man's channel. Fantastic Fridays continues with our fourth installment of our Fantastic Four reviews. That's right. We are J-Man and Sean and myself all reviewing Jack King Kirby's legendary run on the world's greatest comic magazine, Fantastic Four number 1 through 102 and the first 6 annuals. Friday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 Central. We're coming at you with the greatest. We do four issues a night, and we're having a blast. If you're a comics fan, this is one of them easily, whether you're a big fan or not, it's probably the most important run in all of comics. Great stuff. Love it. And hey, please join us if you have a mind to. Anyway, there's that. And of course, Friday nights after that, my good buddy, the great 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. We're a whole bunch, the Friday Night Comic Shop gang is getting together and starting this week. If you can't get enough of Silver Age comic reviews after the FF review that night, right after that, following it, J-Man's channel, move over to Nick's channel, 32 Flavors Nick Weiser. We're the gang for the next few weeks will be reviewing the Amazing Spider-Man classic issues, starting with the Romita era. And it's this week it'll be Amazing Spider-Man 41 through 44. The great D. Bud Martin will be joining the Comic Shop Talk gang. And then, of course, Saturday night Star Trek, as always. Same Trek time, 9 Central. Same Clobby channel. 4 more episodes of Star Trek Voyager Season 6. And then coming soon, very soon, I hope, Clobby's ranking and reviewing of all of Star Trek original series episodes. And now let's do some shouty outies, shall we? I'm not looking at the chat, but I will in a second, and we'll get you all shouted out there. First up, of course, whether they're here or not, our wrenches get the shouts. Eric K., the Bronze Wrencher. Thank you so much, buddy. The great Chris Persia, Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North. Thank you so much for all you do, buddy, and I hope your father's doing better, man. Big best wishes to your father. The great D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Let's see. Lord Thoth, God of the Wrenches, Avon lives, long live the Legion. The aforementioned great J-Man, who as he popped up in the chat earlier, Wrench Without Fear, Partner Crime on Earth B, Fantastic Legionnaire Extraordinaire, Maddie's daddy, we got to visit with for the first time in a few years, came down and got to have lunch with him. It was all too brief, but always great to see him. Super Wrench Kal-El, the rascally wrench himself, Phantom Outsider, Maximum Redstone, our own Music Meister, our Triple Bullwinkle Wrench, Larry. Now let's see whom we have with us here in the chat. We'll get everybody shouted out now. FKHC 2005. Hike. What's up, Tim? Good to see you. Joe Dog. What's up, Joe Dog? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, Claude Salang, my friend. Always good to have you. Good to see. Hope you're doing well. Salty Traveling Sea. What's up, Kimasabi? Good to see you here. Thanks for popping in. Hope to talk to you again soon. 1701 Tex. I still can't used to. I used to go by Tex FA. If I remember right, on the old Blog Talk Radio days. The great 1701 Tex. All right, buddy. Guagnar, what's up, brother? All right, Guag. Stephen Mack, what up? Good to see you there. Let's see who else. I think that's everybody so far. Anyone else who does pop in will be shouted out accordingly. Larry, right? What's up, buddy? Yeah, it's kind of stagnated at 119 and like 19.8, 19 and 8 subs. So I don't know if I'm going to get to 2,000 anytime soon, Larry, but I do appreciate that. Now, let me know how you're all hearing me out there. Right after Monday night's show, My damn mic, which should have lasted a lot longer than that, we're not sure what it was, totally crapped out on me. Mark and I were hanging out in the after show, and it just went kaput. And luckily, it was having. I thought about that earlier on, so I'd ordered a new mic. It came in today. I don't know how it is. Oh, thank you, Chris. I don't know if you hear me the same as usual, better or worse. I don't know. But thank you, Larry, Salty, Steven, Chris, all of you. Thank you so much. Because I have no idea. I ran some tests today recording myself, but I could never really tell because I got a crappy sound system anyway. Thank you, Fanty. Oh, thank you, D-Bud. Appreciate you. Thank you all. Thanks, Tex. Like I said, I know my last one wasn't that great. This one I got to keep. I got one with a stand because the one with the like you see on a lot of people's podcasts, the arm mechanism thingy, I had to rig mine up because the winch the thing that fastener that holds it onto the edge of the desk is too small. So about a year or 2 years ago, whatever it was when we got it, I had to find a way to rig it up all this time, and it made it a problem, I guess. And so excuse me, sorry about that. Now beg time rigged up, yes. And hey, Brogu from my old hometown. So I've always wondered how. See, I have horrible ears anyway. I hate my sound of my own voice anyway. So whenever I go back and try to see what I sound like on a show, on a stream, I never sound right to me. So, but I have crappy speakers, so I can't really tell. So thank you all. Hopefully it'll be okay. Good enough anyway. And I got one with a stand this time, a tripod thingy. And it seems to be working better. It's cheaper than the last one, actually, but hopefully it will hold up. Because yesterday I would say I didn't have one that worked at all. So it's things rarely fall in the right times for me. But since it was Tuesday, Tuesday's the only day I don't have a day off. I stream 27. I stream 7 days a week, and then of course I try to do things throughout the course of the week, doing a job that I don't really get to do. It's just not as regular a work. Let's put it like that. Insulting. Oh, yeah, right, Tom. It's not unusual to not be Tom Jones. It's not unusual to never be Tom Jones. But thank you, Salty. I'm going to try to be Tom Jones, but it's not unusual. So anyway, Tuesdays are the only day that I only have the one stream to do, and that's at Tom's Midnight Edge After Dark, except that's 3 Tuesdays out of the month, because one Tuesday out of the month, a bunch of us local geeks for the past, I don't know, decade or more, have all gotten together for a big geek meeting out, or we all go eat at the Bistro Italia, because the geek who, I don't know how, we got one of us talked us into doing it every time. So we go to a place called the Bistro Italia. Brogu, if only, buddy. And but then I have no shows after that. It's the only time I'm not streaming double, and the only time I'm not streaming the late night is on Tuesday nights. But I was supposed to go on last night on our good buddy Nick's show for his Toxic Tuesday, and they were doing Smokey and the Bandit, and I was invited on there, and I could not make it, of course. Max has an Italian restaurant in Louisiana. Sure, we got plenty of them. We even have plenty of Italians as well. So yeah, the Bistro Italia is very good. So there you go. Well, what is going on in the geek world? You guys, any of you guys, anything you want to bring up that you can throw at me to talk about a little bit? Because Like I said, it's Wild Card Wednesday night. It's anything goes. Wide open geekness. Smokey is the bandit. You must be thinking of Smokey und the Bandit 3. Smokey is the bandit. Salty says Shogun is magnificent. I've heard that. Not something I've watched. I have not seen it. I don't watch much new stuff. I don't. Doesn't. I mean, that's not like a. Not even a statement of pride or anything. It's just I don't really. I have some streaming services, but I don't have TV anymore. I don't have my direct TV like I used to, and I only have a few streaming services. And I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like new aesthetic that much. I don't really. I rarely latch on to something new to watch and then watch it. So I always hear a lot of people talk about things that are current that are very good, and more power to them. Brogu says, have you seen the Deadpool trailer? Yes, I have. Hey, your Muslim uncle, what's up, buddy? Hail, sir. Ready for Have Gun Real Travel Talk? Yeah, well, I need to have somebody on that knows their Have Gun. Hey, Penny. Good to see you, Penny. Yeah, I mean, I understand about the high seas, Salty, I guess. And by the way, I do have some maps, but I have a few, and I have access to a lot of stuff thanks to our great chief engineer, but like that. But I don't really want to watch too much new stuff. I mean, I don't begrudge anyone else watching it. And I do watch some new stuff. Before I address some Have Gun there, your Muslim uncle, I'll address the Deadpool, Wolverine Deadpool trailer that Brogu mentions. I did see the trailer, the FU trailer, the trailer with yeah, I have to be Larry. I saw the Deadpool trailer. It's kind of, it was kind of cool, but it was kind of funny. I'll go watch it. I mean, hey, Jeremiah Hembry. Yeah, and Jeremiah, yeah, I'm gonna go see it. This is Clobby and the Deadpool. This is where I am on Deadpool, right? Never gave two craps about the comic character. As Tex and I've talked about before, and others and he really is just a Marvel attempt to try to be like an edgy ambush bug. Wagner, I'm going to star your comment. I'm going to get right to that one. Was there a Deadpool trailer, says J-Man? Yeah, yesterday it dropped. And there's one with I guess it's a red band because it's got the F word. A trailer with the F word every 5 seconds. Are you being facetious, J-Man? Did we talk about that? Did we? I think you and I talked about the Deadpool trailer. Maybe not. So it looked okay. I mean, I'll go watch it. It's got Jackman in the yellow outfit, except for he's not wearing the headpiece, but oh yeah, yeah, Fanty. Yeah, Fanty. It's Have Gun is on those. I have the DVD set of Have Gun Will Travel, all of it. Rogu says, yeah, you should watch it, Club. I think it's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm going to watch it. Look, but here, look, I didn't finish. I derailed myself, which I do very easily. Me, Clobby, and Deadpool. I never cared about the comic book. I think somebody talked me into going to see the movie, the first one. And I liked it. It's a funny movie. It didn't make me want to read the comics ever, and I didn't still. It was after my time anyway with Marvel. So I didn't really care. I mean, again, it's nothing against it. By the way, people like them. That's fine. And then I watched the second movie, and I liked it. A lot of people didn't like that. I didn't even get the memo that I was supposed to not like the second movie. I thought it was all right. There's a lot of funny stuff in it, I thought. A lot of funny stuff. So it's the kind of thing that they didn't even need to stick Wolverine in it to get me to give it a look just for the hell of it. Even the fact that it's Disney should always send up red flags. That's why the trailer seems so hell-bent on putting F words in there so they could try to make people think, no, don't worry, we won't lose any of the vulgarity or the raunch. We'll still be Deadpool, if that's a selling point for you. I think it's funny that he had his bare arms out. I guess that's a little something for the ladies. Well, yeah, they get everything these days. All we get is Cindy Sweeney. And we don't even get that. I'm not getting her. Going to go see Deadpool Wolverine this summer, says Joe Doug, because I love the first movie so much. Well, I hear you. Never read the comic either, but like the movies. Love seeing Piotr after Clobberin was my... Yeah, it was kind of fun seeing Colossus. Yeah, Max, it does have Wolverine in his proper uniform, sans the headpiece, unless that makes it into the movie for a split second. There's no headpiece. Or yeah. Other than that, though, it's kind of cool to see him in the yellow outfit. So yeah, and again, they're gonna go all. They're gonna be going all this multi-universe crap stuff, but they'll be poking fun at it. So, well, that's fine. Let's see what else here we got. Thank you for the member chat, by the way. Member for 18 months. Your Muslim uncle. I appreciate you being a member, buddy. Says, "Hail, sir. Ready for some handgun will travel talk." But I'm always up for that. I don't know how much any of our friends here will be into that. But I'll do it anyway. Let me get to Gwag said something here. He said, because you were talking about it, I decided to continue watching X-Men 97. It is much better than all of the behind the scenes stuff made it out to be. Yeah, so far, I agree. Hey, J-Man, thank you for that. He says, it's a member chat, says 20 months. Well, thank you for being a member, buddy. Really do appreciate you, brother. The great J-Man, folks. One of the fantastic friends I've made over here on YouTube that I love hanging out with. Let's see. Putin's cat. What's up, dude? I thought I saw a Putin's cat. I did saw a Putin's cat. All right. Let's see. What's that text? Texas. Educate the bin on. All people of good ilk should watch. Should dig have gun will trouble. No question about it, buddy. And I agree with J-Man. This was a really great episode of X-Men 97. And I'll get to have gun after I get to do the. I don't want to spoil or anything. I know that no one cares about spoilers around here, really. Put it to you like this. This is the 6th episode, I believe. They've been in my opinion, it's been getting better and better. If you're a fan of the original X-Men, the Fox, I should say the Fox X-Men cartoon of the 90s, this is a continuation of that. And in spite of it being Disney, which we thought they were going to ruin it, so far, they still have time to ruin it, but they're more than halfway through. And it's very much like the old cartoon. It's got all, like I said, I'm not the biggest X-Men guy. Got you, J-Man. I'm not the biggest X-Men guy. That said, I like them enough. I like some of the classic runs. I like, the Cockrum and the Byrne run, with the Claremont on the scripting on both of those. And then a few others here and there, but they're not my top, groups or anything, but I do like them when they're well done. The cartoon, I was kind of so-so about it. I binged it. But a while back, and I do like it enough. So I thought bringing it back, we all thought they were going to really make it terrible. So far, it hasn't been that bad. I thought the first 4 episodes were fair to okay. with very little objectionable content. I mean, fairly, definitely something a fan of the old cartoon could get behind and really enjoy. Then I thought the last few episodes are really good. We got to see last week we got the Imperial Guard. Basically, the Dave Cockrum Legion. And it was pretty cool. Yeah, I hear you. The ending, I'm with you, Gwagner. The ending of last week where we get to see Storm looking like the Storm that I knew when I first saw her, the Dave Cockrum, John Byrne look that she had early on in the early days of the quote-unquote new X-Men title. Late 70s and early 80s. She was so beautiful in that outfit. And she's been so, I hated that white outfit and I hated her, always hated her, hated that mohawk hair or whatever. So she's beautiful again. She looks fantastic. She got her powers back, which is no surprise, right? And then this week I thought was really good. There's a pretty interesting cameo in this new episode. A pretty interesting cameo, friends. Now there was kind of a thing done in it that aggravated me a little bit, but I don't know. Should I say what the cameo is? It's pretty surprising. It wasn't like a gigantic scene or anything. Should I say just let me know who thinks I should say what the cameo is. Or should I keep it spoiler and not tell it? Should I not spoiler it? Let's see if I can. The first 5 who say yes or no, I'll abide by that decision. Should I tell what it is? And by the way, Have Gun Will Travel, the greatest Western TV show of all time, is on YouTube, according to what Tex is telling us there. So, yeah. Putin Cat said no. It's 1 vote no. Don't spoiler it. Okay. Remember? Yeah. Joe Dog says, remember the red Nova costume of the 90s? Ugh, I hated it. That makes 2 of us, Joe Dog. I hated it. X-Men is definitely my general. Okay, your Muslim uncle said, there you go. Fanty's a yes. Max is a yes. Oh, very clever, J-Man, but is it a yes or a no? I got 3 votes. J-Man, is your vote a yes or a no? It's funny. I'm talking about the episode before that leading to a certain mutant from your area. That one, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I'm sorry. Son Lee says yes. Steve Max says, I can't handle the truth. That's not a no, though. So I've got 4 votes now. Exactly. So, hey, Ravenscroft. I need 1 more vote. Yay or the nay. Although I already got 3-1, so I think it's over. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The Janelle episode, Quag. I'm sorry. Well, no more vote. The voting's closed because there's already three votes. It said yes. Whether or not I spoiler the cameo in the latest episode of the X-Men 97. Since we have new friends in there, I'll tell you what. Ravenscroft and RR, I don't know if you have an opinion, but I'll let you guys weigh in. It's 3-1 right now. So allow 2 more votes. Do I spoiler the cameo? Yay from, okay, well, RR says yay. That means we have an overwhelming majority there. Okay. Only 1 said no. It's just a cameo. All right. Okay, but I'm still going to give a countdown for anyone who wants to mute out for a couple of minutes. Ba 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 ba. All right. Spoilers. So it's visually up there. Okay. The latest episode, it's not the biggest deal or anything, but the latest episode has a cameo by, Captain America throws his mighty shield, although someone else threw it. It's not a big deal. We all know, those of you probably already know that Gambit was killed a couple of episodes ago. They had his funeral. Rogue is not happy about it. She's on a rampage. She goes after a military base. And threatens Thunderbolt Ross. And then later she's at a snow-covered cabin out in the snow-covered mountains. And who shows up but the great Captain America, looking just like he's right out of the comics. Looks so good. The voice, I'd have to get used to the guy doing the voice, but he was all right. And it's not like a big battle, but then again, it's not a Cap cartoon, it's an X-Men cartoon. So we don't get to see him fight. They just argue a little bit, and they have a couple of scenes. I don't know who did the voice Ravenscroft. I'd have to go check. I forgot to check it. But he looked good. Not Red Brown. I wish it had been Brian Bloom. His voice was fantastic on Earth's Mightiest Heroes. But the guy was okay, I guess. I'd have to go back and check it. But, yeah, I don't like Mojo at all, Wagner. That's just me. I don't like him. So anyway, they have an argument, and he's trying to calm her down. Well, she goes, Rogue takes his shield and as like a big child and throws it off into the mountains and then runs off and flies off because Cap didn't tell her what she wanted to hear. I mean, it was very disrespectful of Cap. On the other hand, it's the kind of crap you'd expect out of Rogue. So there you go. It was still cool to see him. Excuse me. Yeah, definitely not Anthony Mackie, who will never play Cap. So Brogu. That's the run. Thank you, Brogu, for being here. Enjoy the rest of the stream, everyone, and also enjoy the rest of the week. This is the way. All right, Brogu. Thank you for being here, buddy. But it was kind of cool to see Cap, I got to admit. And there's another scene where Morph, who now can have the superpowers of anyone that he copies, turned into Quicksilver. I don't like Quicksilver, but the scene looked kind of cool. He looked like real deal comic book Quicksilver. I'll give him that. Screw Quicksilver, by the way. To hell with him. Piotr is an idiot. So, all right. I've gone, will travel, reach the card of a man. All night without armor in this savage land. This fast gun for hire heeds the calling wind. A soldier of fortune is the man called Paladin. So, the greatest TV Western of all time. And if you're not into Westerns, I'm not going to be long, I promise. I'm not going to take long. Greatest TV Western of all time, in my opinion, which means I'm right. It's good. Is, of course, Have Gun Will Travel, starring the great Richard Boone. Now, I love a lot of TV Westerns. Matter of fact, obviously, I love some movie Westerns. All right, J-Man, take it easy, buddy. See you Friday. Now, obviously, I love some movie Westerns. There's no question about it. But I have this thing. I love old TV Westerns. I love Westerns, obviously. But I love old TV Westerns. And there's some really great ones. But, man, Have Gun is just my favorite for so many reasons. But I'll read what your Muslim uncle said because he wanted to talk about it a little bit. He says, they changed the sound that was made when he handed people his card, though, season 1. Then halfway through season 2, they cut out his speech at beginning of the show. Bad changes. Yeah, they changed it a little bit. Well, they varied it a lot. I don't know about changing it so much. Kind of they started, varying it a little bit. Yeah, but it didn't seem that noticeable to me, Fanty. I mean, sorry, your Muslim uncle. So it's great writing. Sometimes feel Captain Kirk is modeled after Paladin a bit. Paladin in space. I do too sometimes. I do too sometimes. Well, Roddenberry wrote 20-something episodes. Ravenscroft says, did you follow How the West Was Won? My family used to love it. Yeah, but James Arness and Bruce Boxleitner and a few other people were on that. I used to watch that a long time ago. Very good. Yes, Larry Boone is in a few John Wayne movies. In fact, he's a bad guy in one of my favorite ones, Big Jake. And he's in The Shootist. One of Kirk's ancestors was Paladin. Yeah, buddy. Roddenberry wrote some great ones. He's not the only one. I mean, a lot of people who went on to do other stuff wrote some great episodes of Have Gun Will Travel. So, yeah, I mean, it's just such a brilliantly written show. It's like they're like short stories, but they're not because they think it's the same character. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, there was always a good fight, but there was always he's got some very intense episodes with fights, but he's got some humorous ones as well. He was excellent. Sam Rolfe, who also created the great show The Man from U.N.C.L.E., created Have Gun. A lot of other writers, did a lot of stuff on that. Such a good show. Boom, 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 boom. We didn't even get the song to the second season. You like spaghetti westerns, Penny? Well, yeah, I understand. Jacob McCandles. I thought you was dead, Mr. McCandles. Not hardly. Yep, Ravenscroft. Big Jake is one of my favorite movies. 24 minutes per show, says Larry. Yeah. With ads. Or without ads, sorry. Yeah. You had that. And they were able to pack a lot into that story, too, each week. Only 1 2-parter. The brilliant A Quiet Night in Town, written by Harry Julian Fink, the guy who ended up writing the Dirty Harry. A lot of big-time writers and a lot of big actors were on that show. Charles Bronson was on there no shorter than no less than 3 times he was on Have Gun. Joe Dog, I loved it too. Joe Dog, I love the original Magnificent Seven film, and I did kind of like the TV show from 1999 or 2000 or whatever year that was, which only lasted 22 episodes. That was actually a good show. You had to just completely divorce it from the movie or the movie sequels they did and just count it as some other weird universe where they have some similar names. Good show. Oh, yeah, Bronson was in a lot of TV shows, Larry, absolutely. Absolutely. No, the song was prevalent throughout, but 3/4 through season 1, they changed the sound that was made when he gave his card. I've been watching an episode or 2 each day with the Sufi Bomb. I love it. Well, though the Johnny Western song wasn't in the first season. Remember, it was just boom, 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 boom. And then in the end credits of the second season on up, I'm pretty sure it was second season. It was Have Gun Will Travel, reach the card of a man. It's hard to remember and believe at one time the Westerns dominated American TV. Now they are largely extinct. I liked when the Magnificent Seven was called the Seven Samurai Gwagnar. Yeah, well, you know what? They did pay Ikea Kurosawa in their studio to be able to use that. And they did. I mean, it's a similar story, of course, but it's our version of our Western. So, And Tex said he liked the Seven Samurai when it got called Battle Beyond the Stars. I love that one too. But Gwag, I have every respect for the Seven Samurai, and it is great. But I saw it way after I saw the Magnificent Seven, but I didn't know anything about all that. It was a remake and all that stuff. So, I mean, I just love the Magnificent Seven. It means more to me personally. Yes, yes, your Muslim uncle, great stuff. And yeah, they did get rid of the speeches, like you said. RR says my favorite Western film has to be Magnificent Seven. Yep, Bronson, McQueen, Vaughn, Brenner, Dexter, Coburn, and even Wallach too, and not as well known Buckholz. Such a great film. The remakes, sequels don't come close. Agreed. I love Battle Beyond the Stars. Man. Salty says, The Searchers, Rio Lobo. Yep, love it. Rio Lobo, Rio Bravo, I love. I love The Searchers and Rio Bravo. El Dorado and Rio Lobo are almost similar to Rio Bravo. It was like, was it Howard Hawks kept sort of remaking his own movie? In a sense. Max Redstone, I wonder if they had to write Hey Boy as the villain. You know, I like Hey Boy, but gotta admit in the later seasons, Hey Girl was better because she was so damn cute. Hey Girl was a cutie. Ravenscroft says, oh, how about High Chaparral? We used to watch that one. I was pretty young, but I remember High Chaparral was pretty cool. Cameron Mitchell, Henry Darrow on there with a guy named Leif Erikson, who usually played bad guys a lot, but he was good on that. It only lasted like 3 years, but I used to watch that all the time. And back in the 70s stuff, love it. They used to watch Big Valley a lot. They were all kind of taken from Bonanza, but Gunsmoke, Bonanza were winding down by the time I was 5 or 6, says Ravenscroft. Yep, I love those shows. Mighty Sheriff Lobo. Wagner, Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. would have got to be my all-time favorite TV Western. It's one of my all-time favorite shows, period. I love Briscoe County Jr. It's one of the true tragedies of television that got cut short. Salty says, Caribou Trail, a Canadian set Western. I remember, I think I want to say I've seen that, but I'm not sure. It sounds familiar, dude. I'll tell you, a great one was the Guns of Will Sonnet. Did anyone see the Guns of Will Sonnet with the great Walter Brennan? Man. That show was mythic. It only lasted 2 seasons. My copies of it are horrible because they put out a really cheap-ass set many years ago, a DVD set of them, where I forgot the name of that company. One of those cutthroat, Timeless, I think it was, companies. And they just took really bad transfers and put them on. They were all chopped up, all butchered. But it's the only way you can get it. They're never going to put them on a. They're never going to, remaster them or clean them up or anything. I've talked about this before though, so stop me. But I'll just do it again. The Guns of Will Sonnet. I think it's one of Aaron Spelling's first shows. That Aaron Spelling. Will Sonnet is this old legendary war hero, gunsman, scout for the army during the wars, some of the early wars. And he's played by a much older, obviously very, when was Walter Brennan not old? Walter Brennan plays Will Sonnet. And it turns out that all the time he spent out in the war, hey, Cinema Gulp. Welcome. Will Sonnet is his son, James. When he grew up, he went out on the road by himself. And then turns out when Will finally retired, James had made a name for himself as a pretty popular, infamous gunfighter, and he sent his son, his baby son, to be raised by his father, James's father, Will Sonnet, who would raise his grandson, Jeff Sonnet. And every episode opens with this somber monologue, with the somber music. He's saying, we search for a man named James Sonnet. Stories about him might be true. They call him gunman and killer. He's my son, who I never knew. It's got the music going along. Says, I raised Jim's boy from the cradle until one day he said, I've got to go find my father. And I reckon that's how it should be. So we ride, Jim's boy and me. Dak Rambo plays Jeff Sonnet. They're looking for Will's looking for his son, and Jeff is looking for his father. Dak's a young man. Turns out, Will Sonnet's an expert gunman, and he taught both of them everything he knows. The show, Jason Evers plays James Sonnet. We don't see him in every episode, but we see him every now and then. He's this cool, badass guy who's not a bad guy, but he's got a reputation as a gunfighter, which can haunt you in the Old West. And where his father has a different reputation, he's like a war hero, but everyone's afraid of James. And of course, the son, Dak Rambo, is kind of wet behind the ears. He's younger and everything, but he's he's still real. Yeah, Dak Rambo. Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff. And Dak Rambo is pretty good. He plays the young son, like he was like 20 years old now, 18 years old, 20. And there's a scene where someone's, everyone knows the infamous James Sonnet, but they know who Will is too. And one time I remember an episode where he says, he's talking about Jeff, the boy is better than his father, and I'm better than both of them. No brag, just fact. Taught them both well, everything they know. And so they, again, they have their adventures while they're looking for James. Played really well by Jason Evers, an actor we've seen in a few things, mostly a character actor who's been in Star Trek episode Wink of an Eye, and has been in Escape from the Planet of the Apes and Rockford Files and a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, great show. Only lasted 2 seasons. They filmed an episode that was never shown, where they finally find James and get to meet him. And it was a really good episode. It was on a special feature of the 2nd season, but they said it never aired. Great show. Anyway, so Have Gun Will Travel reads the card of a man. A night without armor in a savage land, your Muslim uncle. And it's one of those shows. Your Muslim uncle. It's one of those shows that I may go like months at a time without watching one, and I just get in a Paladin mood. No, I just need to watch me some Paladin. So I'll throw an episode on there. And gotta watch me some Paladin. And I'll just throw one at random, or I'll just fiddle around. Let's see, what episode do I want to watch? And there are definitely episodes I watch more than others. Max, you silly you. It sounds like a bit like The Quest with Kurt Russell, Tim Matheson, brothers searching for their lost sister. That didn't last too long, Ravenscroft. Yeah. Now, another great show that didn't last long enough for tragic reasons was Alias Smith and Jones. I loved Alias Smith and Jones. Hannibal Hayes and Kid Curry. We've talked about all that before, though. So we've done it. Anyway. Alias Smith and Jones was fantastic. The Pete Duel episodes, anyway. 15 of the episodes had the replacement. I never saw Sword of Justice, though. Tex. I think I've heard of it. Yeah. Pete Duel was brilliant on that show. They should have got his Jeffrey Duel, his brother, to replace him. He looked more like him, but I don't know if he could have done it. And still, maybe it would have been weird, you know. Yeah, weird. That is weird, wild stuff. That is wild, weird stuff, you know. Oh dear. No. What can you do? I don't think Sword of Justice probably didn't. It must not have lasted very long. Was that a network show? He was a totally different guy, wasn't? He was a totally different guy, wasn't he, Clobby? The new guy. No, you mean? Oh no, Roger Davis was playing Hannibal Hayes. That's the problem. And oddly enough, there had been a previous episode. Hey, Adrian James, good to see you. Oddly enough, Ravenscroft, there had been a previous episode called Smiler with a Gun where Roger Davis has a big guest starring role in the episode. And he was really good in it. It was kind of fun. It was a very good character. And Pete Duel, Kid Curry has to shoot it down. Your awesome uncle says it's such a pleasure to watch it, and even better is my mom watched it with her dad, so it's like a little reunion for us. Yeah, if Sword was on NBC, 10 episodes. Oh wow! You know, your Muslim uncle. When I talked to my dad and my uncle, especially my uncle was telling they were young adults, just getting into their 20s or whatever when Have Gun Will Travel was just on the air. And he said, oh man, when Paladin was on, everybody was inside. It was must-see TV back then. Everybody wanted to watch Paladin. You know, for years after that, it had some problems in syndication. People thought it was too violent. They thought Mannix was too violent too. So, man, they just, for the times, I guess, right? Oh, my goodness. What did Joe Dog ask? Did Joe Dog ask it? Hey, Wes Cagle, I didn't see you pop in there, man. Oh, man. Yeah, Texas, my mom said the same thing. Even in bars, folks watched it when it was on the bar TV. Yes. Paladin was just so cool, man. I mean, it was just a badass, dude. It was, he would dispense justice. He wouldn't just murder anybody. But if someone had it coming, he'd give them a chance. They got a gun and said draw. He would give them a chance to draw on them. And when they were stupid enough to draw on him. But also, I always loved it when Paladin would get hired by some jackass who was really the bad guy of the piece, and they'd hire him to kill somebody. Hey, all right, Tex, take it easy, man. Have a great night, bud. And Paladin would look at the guy and say, I am not an assassin. And he would tell the guy, you take the part of the money, said, this is for my expenses, this is for wasting my time, and then now I'm leaving. And he would usually go on to the side of the people on the good, on what's right. Because he was a knight without armor in a savage land. Let's see. Adrian says, The Blake 7 episode this week is Gambit, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's right, Adrian. Gambit, one of my, and I'm not to be confused with the X-Men. Great episode. Love it. Can't wait for that one. I love that episode of Paladin when Have Gun Will Travel when he was passing through a town and it turned out some asshead bullies were trying to force the teacher to stop teaching the truth about some historical events from the war. Hey, Mars Monkey Max. Clint Eastwood films. Well, I love those. But my favorite westerns are those old TV ones. And there was an episode where I don't know if you remember this one, your Muslim uncle, but the was called The Teacher. And Paladin was just stopping through town and he got wind of this these jerks that were going to try to force the teacher to stop teaching things that happened in the Civil War because it was about Quantrill, the Southern general that they didn't like her teaching things that happened. And Paladin got wind of it and he goes to visit the teacher and he pretends like he was one of those guys and gets the truth out of her. She says she's teaching the truth about both sides in the war. He said, I just wanted to make sure. And he said, basically, I'm here to help you, whatever. She says, I can't pay you anything. He says, I look at this as a civic responsibility, like when I vote or whatever. Paint Your Wagon, Eastwood sings. That's right, Penny. That's a great movie. Not only does Eastwood sing, Lee Marvin sings, doesn't he? Wowzer. So, Paladin, man, when the loud little bully jerk comes in there to intimidate the teacher, man, Paladin busts him up. The only other TV westerns I have seen are The Lone Ranger and The Wild Wild West. I've never seen Bonanza or Gunsmoke, etc., says Gwagnar. Oh, really? Well, I love The Lone Ranger and I love Wild Wild West, which is sort of not really, it's a western, but it's, let's say it's a science fiction adventure western. No problem, MMM. Just good to see you. Thank you for popping in. And I do love those Eastwood films. Wandering Star. Wandering Star? What do you mean, Adrian? Elaborate. So, Lone Ranger's cool. Favorite Eastwood film, says Ravenscroft. Are you restricting me to westerns or just all of them? Oh, man, that is so tough. It's all of them. To me, Wild Wild West is a precursor to Briscoe County, says Wagner. Agreed. Absolutely agree. I love them both. They're so good. Let's see. If it's Eastwood Western, it's probably going to be Good and the Bad and the Ugly. I love High Plains Drifter. Oh, okay. Lee Marvin sang it. Okay, thank you, Adrian James. It's been a while. I love For Fistful of Dollars also. I also love The Outlaw Josie Wales. I actually love, was it Two Mules for Sister Sarah? Hang 'em High. Remember that one? High Plains Drifter is a great one. Ooh. Yeah, Pale Rider. Muslim Uncle says. He says, you'll see. Great episode. Watch the episode today where he sees the Mexican gunfighter who killed 12 men and then drew down his guns, and then his woman married someone else. So he had to shoot him. Yes. Oh man, I can't remember the name of it, but I remember it well. There's so many great episodes of Have Gone. Nothing like a fine piece of hickory. One of my favorite lines, and I think it's Outlaw Josie Wales, but you can correct me if I'm wrong because it's been a while. When there's some guy that is about to try to kill him or whatever, and he says, Well, man's got to make a living. It's just dying ain't much of a living, boy. You know, I'm not going to get into why I have some problems with Unforgiven, but it is a good movie. For all the problems of the 80s, Legend of the Lone Ranger, Christopher Lloyd made for a very evil Butch Cavendish. Yeah, but that movie's tough to watch. Come on, man. High Plains, okay. And seen that forever. Hang 'em High. Now, if we're talking about non-westerns of Eastwood, it's got to be Dirty Harry. Actually, I do love Gran Torino. Clint's the best. Yep. Dying ain't much of a living, boy. Wag says, not his best movie, but I saw Firefox on cable so many times. I went to the theater to see Firefox, and I don't think I ever saw it after that. Adrian James says there was an episode of The Prisoner that had Western. Yes, it was called Living in Harmony, Adrian. I love that episode. It's a great one. It's trippy. And that one did not air in the States, by the way. And initially, on the initial run of The Prisoner in 1968, they would not air Living in Harmony. Dirty Harry is number one, non-Western. And Line of Fire is good, yeah. Sudden Impact. Yeah, In Line of Fire is excellent. Hey, Picasso, you're my kind of town. Mads Monkey Max says, I love the part in High Plains when he makes them paint the town red and paints a sign out, hell starts here. Yep, loved In the Line of Fire. So I fell into a burning ring of fire. It was not the movie that was advertised. Fireflex looked like an action movie, but was an espionage thriller with an airplane fight at the end. Yeah, I got to admit, as a very young teenager, when I went to see it, I was not super thrilled with it. I did like like you said, the big airplane battle at the end, but I was a kid, and I thought that's what I was getting into. I thought we were going to get badass Clint Eastwood and, an airplane and stuff. But so, yeah, wasn't my favorite. And like I say, it's a cool bit at the end, though, with the airplane. But, you're a kid, and you go in there and you say snop a lot. So, yeah. It's just like one of those movies. I watched it at the theater back when it came out and never watched it again. RR, you missed nothing. First R-rated flick I saw at the theater was The Gauntlet with my dad. Says a couple of odd moments, but we liked it. The best thing about the Gauntlet for me is the Frank Frazetta cover. I mean, a poster. Frank Frazetta did the movie poster for that, and got to hang out with Clint Eastwood. The interesting thing with the ambush in the 80s, legend to the ambush. 80s legend original show, Butch wounds Collins in TV show. Butch intended to delete Collins. How can you trust a traitor? I guess you're presuming you're speaking of Legend of the Lone Ranger, perhaps, Fanty? I guess. I reckon you're speaking of that, buddy. Well, Firefox had two people from Raiders. I don't even remember who's in it other than Clint Eastwood. Where Eagles Dare, the Iger sanction were good. What about Escape from Alcatraz? Escape from Alcatraz was just sort of there, but it's got Patrick McGowan as a prison warden. I say again, it has the great Patrick McGowan as a prison warden in Escape from Alcatraz. That's pretty good. So, yeah. Anyway, man, we went from Have Gun Will Travel. We went all over the place, Westerns, and then we went to Eastwood. Love that Westworld movie with Yul Brynner as the gunslinger. Yeah. I'm one of the few, Adrian, that actually, I like that one, of course, but I actually like Future World. Does anyone else like Future World? A lot of people didn't seem to like it. R says, as well as making the best ever Western films, Eastwood made probably the best rugby film to come out of Hollywood, Invictus. Great movie. Mediocre rugby, but still a great movie. Ah, okay. I remember you mentioned that once before, yeah. Oh, Belloc and Todd. So Paul Freeman and Ronald Lacey are in that. Wow. Yes, Future World and Westworld were both good, says Monkey Matt. Yep, there you go. Future World scared the hell out of me as a kid, says Salty. Yeah, I loved it, though. Great ending. Belloc and Tote. Yeah. In the TV show, Wounded Collins tries to delete Ranger and Tonto as they found the spring, and he went to higher ground but had no shadow water. Okay. Future World was actually part 2. It was the sequel. It was the sequel of Monkey Max. Yep. I hadn't seen that in a while. So many movies that you remember. You got any of those? Like, you remember you liked them fine, and you're not, but you hadn't seen them in forever, and it'd be cool to go back and see some of them, and for whatever reason you may not have them. They're all over the place now, but that's another one. I can't remember the last time I watched Future World or Westworld or Logan's Run, and it's been available every time I'm flipping some other service. I haven't seen that in forever. Let me save that. I'll watch it again one day. Then I don't get around to it. Most of the stuff I watch now is because I have to review it. I've had to almost have to regiment my time for reviewing stuff and let's see, from Wednesday to Saturday, I can't afford the time to watch anything that I just spontaneously want to watch or binge something for my own, just my own pleasure, because I get very little time. I have horrible connection here, so even if I get occasionally get a little time in the daytime, which like tomorrow I'll be out all day, I won't get a chance. I know, big boohoo me, first world problems. But I have such terrible Wi-Fi, I can't stream anything till it gets like 8, 11, 12, or 1 o'clock in the morning. Even sometimes screws up then. So after I get done with the show here, if it's like a Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, I can watch what I want to watch. So I've been watching some Babylon 5 again and stuff like that just for the fun of it. But tonight, after this, I got to go start getting ready. What do I got to watch? I got to watch Blake 7 for tomorrow night, even though I've watched that a million times. And then tomorrow night, the next night, I got to make sure I watch all my Voyager. I already watched my Night Stalker, a Kolchak episode. So, like I said, big first world problems, right? But I'm saying, so I only get like 2.5 nights a week and only a few hours to watch just anything I feel like watching for the fun of it. Fanny says, Dad Man Walking was talking about the movies of 1984, and that year was an apex of movies. And 1984. I've talked a lot about. That's the best year probably ever. Was he old enough to see movies back then? I thought he was pretty young. I was teasing. Yes, I remember that episode when Steve Austin was fighting a robot and his face came up. Yeah, that was later the toy, they called it Mascatron. That was John Saxon. That's right. Stuart Margolin, known for his Rockford Files Emmys, was great in Future World. Yes, sir. Good stuff. Yep, Angel Martin. In 84, I was a high school senior, says Fanti. In 84, I was 20. The Fembots and a Bionic Woman. Yep. We also had the Olympics in 84. I still have the McDonald's glasses, says MMM. Yeah, there you go. RR said, okay, all of the 80s were great for movies, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right from 80 to 89, but 1982 is the greatest year for movies, says RR. 84 is great, too, but 82, sheer volume of great films wins. I've been talking to, every now and then, Tom and I have talked about this. Salty was in 8th grade. There you go. Day of the Robot, the episode was. What, Day of the Robot? Okay, yeah. The Fembots. You know, every time I've looked at it, I've been back and forth whether it's 82 or 84. It's probably 82. But 84 was fantastic. It's got to be in second place. They were both. I mean, I lived at the movies in 84 and 82, really. 82 was the greatest year for comics because Frank Miller's Daredevil and my favorite Daredevil issue 181. Well, that's great stuff, Joe Dog. No question about it. It was a great year for comics. We had a lot of fun reviewing those Miller Daredevils. Top-notch stuff, for sure. So, yeah. One day I should compare him. I guess I could look at him right now. We're not going to settle anything, but hey, you never know. Whoop. All right. Let's just see. Let's see, shall we? Good night, Penny. Thank you for being here. Have a great night. All right. Ba. Okay. Just run down a little bit of a list here. Sword and the Sorcerer, Megaforce, not helping your case. Ator the Flying Eagle, not helping your case. She, Wrong is Right, The Highest Honor. Airplane 2, Beastmaster, Warriors. What's that one called? Warriors of the something. Right? Final Option. Okay, not helping your case with this stuff, although you had Rambo, First Blood, Death Trap, Firefox, Jekyll and Hyde. But okay, the first great movie I'm running, and this is an opinion, of course. 48 Hours, Total Greatness. Grease 2, come on. A lot of people like Dark Crystal. I'm not big on it, but a lot of people like it. By the way, my eyes are up the chat for a second, everybody, so bear with me if I don't see it. Rocky 3, yep, greatness. I'm just giving you Clobby's opinions. The opinions will vary. Trek 2, gold, greatness. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, it was hilarious. Night Shift was great. Now we're in the good stuff. Challenge, I don't know about. Conan the Barbarian, yes, sir. I'm sorry, Wes Craven Swamp Thing is a silly annoying movie that didn't get the character right. I got problems with it. Sorry. Not sorry. Poltergeist, great one. Silent Rage, I'm not big on Norris. I know a lot of people are. Things Are Tough All Over. A Time to Die. Forbidden World, not going to go there. E.T. overrated drivel to me, but I understand it's a big year, so what are you going to do? Death Wish 2, I mean, look, it should have stopped at 1. Just an opinion. Atomic Cafe, Shadow Riders is cool. Wacko, Mother's Day, Tron, yes, greatness, Tron. I mean, well, according to Garb, I mean, a lot of people like it. Not really my bag. The Toy, I love the 2 actors, and I thought the movie was silly, not that good. John Carpenter's The Thing, complete and utter greatness. I didn't care about The Border. Sword and the Sorcerer, I don't know. A lot of these are the same movies here. I'm not seeing much that I care about beyond those. Death Trap, oh, disgrace. Honky Tonk Man. Beastmaster, I know a lot of you like that one, but Cat People. Gandhi, yeah, whatever. Next of Kin. That's not even the same one. So, yeah, we're pretty. Blade Runner, of course, came out. Again, sue me, not the biggest Blade Runner guy, but I respect it. So that's a good for that year. That's great. I'm not seeing this chat yet, folks. I'll be back in a minute. I'm doing this so you can see the basket case. Don't get me started. Nothing wrong with somebody. I'm just saying. So, yeah. So here you go. Wow. Yeah, more. There were a lot of movies. Hanky Panky. Siskel and Ebert liked that one. But, you know. So, yeah. A lot of good stuff. Now I'm going to come back over so I can see what you guys are saying. You can get Annie. Come on. I don't know. Not my bag, but whatever, man. All right. Let's see. Now I got to run the chat back because I couldn't see what everybody was saying here. RR puts up 82. E.T., not my bag, but look, if it's a big movie, just because I didn't care for it, doesn't matter. Wrath of Khan, of course. Conan, Officer and the Gentleman. I mean, that's okay. First Blood was all right. Tron, yeah. Blade Runner, cool. Rocky 3, yeah. Big time. 48 Hours, yes, sir. And that's just for starters. But you can see there's a lot of dribble. Wag says Tron, 82 movies like Tron, Blade Runner weren't necessarily commercial hits, but their influence of future movies and TV pop in general. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Gwag, no question about it. Son Lee, hey there. Mega Force, yeah, I mean, jeez. Joe Dog loves Dark Crystal. A lot of people did. It wasn't really my thing, but, you know, I hear you. RR says, well, according to Garp, man, I didn't really get in that too much. Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid was okay, but I didn't like it as much. Gandhi wasn't my thing, but I get you. Zakarat, hey there. Dark Crystal is a good girls movie. That's what I kind of thought there, Picasso. Get in trouble, man. The Verdict was a great film, says RR. And back then, look, I was 18. I wasn't going to see mature movies. I still don't watch mature movies, so I have no excuse. But back then, it was a good excuse. Bambi released in theater for 82. I didn't go see that. Excalibur was earlier than 82, if I remember right, Adrian James. Adrian, but I'm not sure the exact year. Great nudity and cat people, says Salty. Yeah. Okay, Excalibur was 81, says RR. Got you. What about Man of Steel? I don't know what you're talking about, Mac. I must be talking about another club. I didn't know there was another one. Tootsie, says Larry. Yeah, that was all right. Yeah, that was a funny movie. Silent Rage. Was one of Norris's best films. I like an action version of Halloween. Okay, so okay, there you go. Crawl was 83. I do believe so, Adrian. Cloak and Dagger with Danny Goldman. That was, I don't know if I ever watched all of that one or not. Maybe not. Okay, let's look at the contrast it with 84. Just saying. All right, 1984, old friends. On the because I went to see more movies this year, I think. All right. I went to see Sheena. I don't know why. I didn't go see Trancers. I think I saw Trancers later. Sword of the Valiant, I did not see. Tank, oh yeah, I saw James Garner. It was all right. I mean, it was one of the, I don't know. Didn't go see Once Upon a Time in America. Way too mature for me. RTNZ gives has a gifted a membership. Thank you, RR. Appreciate that. Thank you. Wagner says Megaforce deeds, not words. The poster was plastered on the back of so many comic books for the year. Yes. They're really trying to sell that sucker. Let's see. All right, back to 84. Eyes are up the chat for a minute, folks. Let's see. Dreamskate, I went to see at the theater. Dreamskate was okay. I did not go to see Cannonball Run or Threads. I did go see Top Secret. Not the Airplane Boys' best work, but it was fun. Didn't see Electric Dreams. Conan the Destroyer was so not the original film, so nowhere not as good. Sorry. Didn't see The Woman in Red, but I like Gene Wilder. Warrior and the Sorceress. No. Repo Man, greatness. Love Repo Man. I didn't like Irish Pirates too much. I know a lot of you guys like Ice Pirates. Saw it at the theater though. It was 1984 we didn't get that till 1985 here, but didn't see The Bounty or Blind Date. Buckaroo Banzai. Yeah, buddy, the great total greatness. The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. 2010, loved it. I think I liked the first of Police Academy. Okay, I don't really watch the other ones too much. But of course, Temple of Doom, baby. I know it gets beat up on, but I love Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom unreservedly. On the other hand, Last Starfighters, for me, not super overrated. I thought it was okay, but I wasn't like. I remember I never super in love with it like a lot of people. Footloose is a great movie. Don't give a crap about Dune, personally. I watched it, though. To Hell with the Ewok Adventure. That wasn't even in theaters. Streets of Fire. A lot of people like that. I'm just sort of there. Never watched The Never-Ending Story or Swing Shift. Supergirl, okay, wasn't so good. You know what I mean? Supergirl was not so good. The Brother from Another Planet. That was a good movie. Runaway with Tom Selleck. Not so much. Iceman, who's not Bobby Drake. I didn't really get. I don't think I saw it. Tightrope I saw. Tightrope was filmed in New Orleans. That was not a great Eastwood movie, in my opinion. Missing in Action. I got dragged to see it. It wasn't my bag, but people like it. Trek 3, baby. Yeah. My God, Bones. What have I done? What you had to do. What you always do. Turn death into a fighting chance to live. Don't ask me why, but I did see the parallels of Gwendolyn and the Land of Yik-Yak, but it had Tawny Katane. First Terminator, cool stuff. Yes. Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan. It was good. I liked it. Starman was okay. Not the best Carpenter, but okay. Romancing the Stone, absolute greatness by Zemeckis. Gremlins, excellent, of course. Who doesn't love Gremlins? Beverly Hills Cop, complete and utter smash sensation greatness. Saw it a zillion times that year. 16 Candles, a good fun movie. Body Double, I did not see it. It was too grown up for me. Splash was a good movie. Didn't go see trashy teen movies, hard bodies. You could just look at porn. Didn't see Cheech and Chong movies, weren't my bag. Against All Odds, nope. Too adult. Threads, no. The Killing Fields, no. I mean, they were big movies, I guess, I granted, but Meatballs Part 2, no. First one was good, but no way. All right, Paris, Texas. Swing Shift. Moscow on the Hudson. I hear it was good. I don't know if you ever watched that one. People like it. Crimes of Passion was, I hear, it's a legendarily bad movie. Tank. I already mentioned Tank. Top Secret. Okay. All right, let's get The Natural is a pretty good movie. All right. Come on, man. Where's the good stuff? There's still some good stuff in here somewhere. Where's Ghostbusters? Where you at? What the hell's Ghostbusters? Okay, the Ghostbusters. Okay. Amadeus. Amadeus. I can't find Ghostbusters on here. What are you doing, man? Toxic Avenger, baby. Greatest movie of all time. Just kidding, but it was funny. All right, where's the Ghostbusters? You were pissing me off with not showing me the Ghostbusters. Some of the other ones here. Lonely Guy was kind of weird but funny. The greatest, probably maybe the greatest movie of that year is not even on here. Ghostbusters. Chud. The hell's Ghostbusters, man? Ghostbusters. Okay, the Ghostbusters. Muppets Take Manhattan. Didn't go see it. Cloak and Dagger was 84. The Dabney Coleman one. I don't think I ever saw it. Karate Kid. I think I might have saw part of that one in 84. Well, a lot of movies, in other words. And including one they don't have on here. Revenge of the Nerds, that was excellent. That was fun. So that's a lot of movies that were really good. And a lot of movies, period, of course, that other people liked that I wasn't big into. So now I'm back. Oh, I'm back, folks. No Ghostbusters. Well, but throw it in there because we all know that was the year it came out. What is wrong with these people? So we back up. Princess Bride was 87, I think. MMM. All right, let's see. RR says 1984 is a great year too. Ghostbusters is such a great movie. Search for Spock, 2010. The Bounty is great. Splash, Supergirl. Supergirl wasn't very good, but in my opinion, anyway. Terrible film, but the cutest Supergirl ever. True. I like Dune 84. Yeah. Like I said, that's if I might put 84 over 82 personally. Although 82 had, I don't know, man, it's tough because 82 had some great ones. It's real tough. You can pick either one at this point. I'm tagging out. Okay. Oh, tomorrow for Gambit climbing. Okay, Gambit tomorrow night. Yes, thank you, Ravenscroft. Take it easy, buddy. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Yeah, but I didn't see everything else was in weird order there. The D-Buds. I don't know why Ghostbusters was hidden. Anyway, it's just too good to be amongst those other ones. Best Defense, yeah. Psh. You know what Eddie Murphy said about that movie? You know what he said about that one? Yeah, man, oh man. Yeah, Eddie wasn't too happy with that movie because it sucked. It suckily sucked it. And he's barely even in it, right? Dudley Moore. Huh? What are you going to do? Oh, there we go. Minima says, I took your worthless ass to see Karate Kid. It irked you so much we left halfway through. I resemble that remark. Not the worthless parts. My ass is definitely worthless. Not well, I use it sometimes for sitting down, but I'm mostly worthless. But I think I left way before halfway through. Remember, I didn't want to go see it in the first place. But yeah, that's a bad memory for him. I starts to finish because I eat me spinach. And I didn't finish Karate Kid. I watched it later, though. Max Russo says, friends and patrons, your attention, please. Clobberin Times, this gallant sporting gentleman has agreed to end the evening with one final wager. He has challenged the Clute to speed chess. Man, that scene, I know Mark's got to clip that Avon scene. Look, the Karate Kid movie was a deceit. It was a bait and switch. Not at any time did he put on his flight ring and fly at all. You know, I mean, not once. Not one other Legionnaire was in the movie. He didn't even fight any villains. I mean, it was so not what I wanted to see in a movie about Karate Kid. One of my favorite Legionnaires. And there's Gwag backing me up. Clubby thought the movie was about the Legion of Superhero character. That's right. I sure did. And you know, he wasn't even, they changed his name from Val Armour to Danny LaRusso or whatever, right? Well, why would you change his name? I understand that he was stuck in the past because that happened in the comics. You know, he ended up, as you all know, he had his own series for like 15 issues where he was, you know, stuck in the modern day in the past. But actually, he wasn't even stuck. He was just staying there for no reason. He wasn't even trapped. Yeah. For the money they paid me, y'all would have made the best defense, too. Oh, my goodness. D-Bud, your secret is safe with all of us. He says, don't tell Tom. I've never seen the Karate Kid. Tom. If Tom knew what I did, now at least I still watched it later. And I love Cobra Kai. You know, I don't think D-Bud, I don't think I've ever watched Karate Kid. I've seen I think I eventually later saw the first film all the way through. I'm not sure I ever saw the second one. Exactly, Guagnor. No Princess Projectra. I mean, it totally deviated from the origin of Karate Kid so much. And in the other movies, they don't really try to rectify any of that. And I mean, would it kill him to have the Legion flight ring? I mean, let him fly once or twice. But it was like he was kind of miscast too, you know. I mean, he's the first Legionnaire to get a movie. Ralph Macchio couldn't handle Princess Projectra. Yes, he projects too much, for one thing. Everyone knows the reason Karate Kid came back to the past was he was a huge Carl Douglas fan. Oh, wow. Probably good you didn't see Karate Kid Club. It was a cruel summer. Yeah. No, but I saw it later. It's a good movie. I mean, nothing against it. Like I said, I love Cobra Kai. So, hey, I was a young lad. You know, I was barely 20 years old, if that, when that movie came out. By the time Minimus dragged me to see it, it was at the Dollar Cinema. So we paid a lot of money to get in that thing, a whole $1, man. Remember, Minimus said to me, land. So what you gonna do, baby cakes? Wow, Wag, you were only 13? Yep. I was ancient. Yeah, buddy. But there was somebody who was there who's in this chat that was older than me. I'll say that for him. And he always will be. But yeah, you know, what can you do? And by that, another thing, you know, DC. That was the year DC. He gets his own movie, but they killed him in the comic. Spoiler alert. They killed Val Armour in the comic, and then they give him a movie and change his name. It's not fair. Smilex. Ah, I got you. A youngster, eh? You know, it makes me wonder why they did use that name. MMM. You're not that old? I got you. But no, I wonder why they use that name. The Karate Kid for that. I mean, it was the name of a superhero. Granted, he wasn't really one of the biggest names or anything. I mean, they could have called it something else, probably, right? I don't know. I guess you got to get the word karate in there. I mean, it makes sense. Fandy says, Val saw the movie and wanted to go. He saw Daniel as the villain. Yes, a lot of people did. A lot of people did. So yeah, the Kung Fu Kid. There you go. I promise teach karate. Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, what did I do? What did I do now? Thanks again for that, RR. Well, he was learning karate. Why did they name the new ones Karate Kid? He's learning Kung Fu. Yeah, that didn't make any sense, did it? Just because they could use the brand name. All I know is the 84 Karate Kid movie is still far superior to Shang-Chi, Mistress of Kung Fu. Yeah, oh, yeah. There's no... Look, yeah, I mean, the Shang-Chi movie is a piece of garbage. It is... You know, Marvel had done some good casting, some characters, but by the time the MCU came out, they didn't know what they were doing. And that was a horrible casting. Horrible. It was a Karate Kid because someone was making the jiu-jitsu. Oh, boy. It's still in production hell. At least they weren't making geriatric, gangrene geriatric jiu-jitsu gerbils. You bad, boy. So, yeah, there you go. Movies were just so much better. One of these days, I'm going to see if Michael, a retro blessing, back many years ago, he and I did our top 10, our top 25 all-time favorite movies of the 80s, and I think we'll do that again one day. I want to see him if he'll. He's a busy man, but I'm asking him if he can do it sometime again. I'm going to see if he wants to, because that was a lot of fun. Who would you prefer to teach you to fight, Mr. Miyagi, or Yoda? For reference, Yoda is the green one. Thanks. Thanks for that. Well, Mr. Miyagi would probably be able to teach you normal fighting. Yoga's going to teach you all kind of force stuff. Unless you have force powers, Yoga's not going to do you much good. Picasso. If you know what I'm saying. Adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters. Yes, Ollie. So, yeah, I guess I'd have to go with Mr. Miyagi there, Smiley, because like I said, unless you have force powers, you're force sensitive, yeah. It's not going to be much use to you. Adrian James? Yeah, actually, I think V the Final Battle was in 1984. If I'm remembering correctly, Adrian James, yeah. Good stuff. Love it. Yeah. Am Tyler. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Ouch. So, anybody else have anything to throw out there that we can entertain before we in our remaining time? We got a little bit more time here, and it's open geekness. So if you got something to talk about geek wise, tonight's the time. We're having open lines, just like if it were almost if it were a radio show. Anything geekness you want me to comment on or ask a question that either I can answer or someone here can answer. So we got the greatest chat, the most knowledgeable geek chat going out there on anywhere. So even if it gets by me and I can't get it because I'm dumb and have a terrible memory, both combined, bad combination. Someone here will know it, and then I can comment on it. If you got something, you want to throw something out there that's not, it's not going to be something that would take like 8 years to litigate, of course. Bon, bon. Anyone going to? Are they going back to Free Comic Book Day? That's for this. They're having that the usual time in May. I probably won't be going to Free Comic Book Day, Wagner. I don't know about any of you, anybody else. I don't go anymore. Are you a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Says Joe Dog. Can't say that I am, buddy. I was a lot older when that came out, and it wasn't in my wheelhouse. I don't know, but some of my nephews were, but yeah, not me. I'm afraid. Nothing against it. I have every respect for Eastman and Laird and what they created and what they accomplished, and that a lot of my friends were a good bit younger than me. We're big fans of them, so I have every respect for them. And I think I saw a couple of those early movies because I brought my kids to see them. Picasso says, "What game do you recommend?" I'm the worst. I'm not a gamer. I'm the worst when it comes to gaming, buddy, because I just don't. I never game. The only games I ever play, I have a PS4. Was sports game. Was actually not even sports games. One game, Madden, the football game, and I just never. I have Batman Arkham Asylum. I played that a little bit, in the first one or the second one, Arkham City. So yeah. I'm starting some of your comments here. But I got to admit, I don't know much about games. Thank you so much, RTNZ, for gifting another membership there. Appreciate you so much, buddy. So I can't say that I can recommend any, unfortunately, Picasso. I don't know much about games. So but let's see. I'm starting some comments here. Let me see. Max says, Clobberin Times, can you elaborate more about how you're not the brightest bulb in the chandelier? Yes, I can do that. I'm a complete and utter dumbass. I have an extremely low IQ, Max. And the reason I know this is because I didn't test myself. If I were smart, I would test myself. But I didn't, so it shows how stupid I am. Now, on the other hand, it may show how brilliant and clever I am, because why test myself? Because I don't want to make everyone else feel stupid when I get that high mark. Now, I'm just kidding. I have like a double-digit IQ, probably. I think. I've never taken the test that I know of. So, yes, and I'm elaborating. I'm an idiot, and I don't have any bulbs in any chandelier. So, yeah, I'm embarrassingly dumb. I embarrass myself with my dumbness all the time. And but you know what? I'm still kind of a nice guy, which makes me a schmuck. Nice guys finish last, so that's even dumb of me. It's dumb of me to be nice. So you got me, coming and going on that one. So, but that's my basic, answer on that. And so, I hope that helps. It clears everything out. Now, Wag says, Klobby is very smart. He doesn't buy new comic books. Even there you go. This is interesting. Even the least intelligent person can do some things correctly and make people think they're kind of smart. Because wisdom and intelligence are not always the same thing, as you know. So one can show good taste or wisdom and not do something, and people go, "Wow, he's really smart." When it's just, maybe not. So, But thank you so much for that, Wagner. I appreciate it. I hope that helps, Max. But if I need to elaborate more, please do, or please ask. RRT and Z says, question: single worst thing John Byrne did when he was in charge of a book. Wow, easy. Turned Superman and his values, turned him into a super yuppie. He made him a jerk. He had him abuse his powers. He claimed to love the Superman movie, and yet there's a scene in the movie where Pa Kent clearly tells young Clark, when Clark says, every time I get the football, I can make a touchdown every time. He says, yep, you sure could. And he says, basically, let me tell you something. I do know one thing, son, is that you are here for a reason. I don't know whose reason it is or whatever it is. Maybe it's because, I don't know. But I do know one thing. It's not to score touchdowns. Basically meaning it's not just to serve your own ends and, expose yourself and all this other stuff. So what does he do in the first issue? John Byrne has him playing football and scoring touchdowns. You think maybe after the 15th time, nobody can even lay a glove on him, and he can. And I know his powers were developing over time. He was still untouchable, and he knew about it. So that's just off the top of my head. I got a lot of gripes with Byrne. People like to absolve him of the blame for putting She-Hulk in the Fantastic Four and replacing Ben. They said that was editorial. So maybe destroying Superman's lore, shitting all over the creators that went before him, and changing all of their history and saying, what he did to Superboy. Okay, single worst thing he did is what he did to Superboy. I'm going to go with that. Got to single one of them out. What John Byrne did to Superboy, and again, he blames that on other people, but then if that's the case, why'd he come out and say he regretted it? What he did to Superboy for the win. Took me a while to really kind of ruminate on that a bit. I hope that helps. Or let's see. Smilex says, I saw your tweet about Demon in the Bottle, the Iron Man comic. Oh yeah, that story lives in my head. Powerful stuff that makes thanks for the memory. Oh, thank you. Yes, Demon in the Bottle is great stuff. That was one of the earliest Marvel collected that into a trade paperback, and I really did like it. Really did like it. Very cool stuff. Larry says, when was the first Superboy appearance in comics? That would be Superboy number 1, or was it More Fun? I think it was Superboy number 1, but it might have been. Oh man, I can't remember now. I'm pretty sure it was. I thought it was Superboy number 1 from like 1949 or something. But I'm not 100% sure, buddy. Could have. I'm always bad with memory stuff, like I said. So, but I could have swore it was. Superboy number 1. Anyway, probably so. Probably Superboy number 1. Anyway, I can double check it later. All right, let's see. What we have? Hey, look who's here.
Hey, your mic is back. Did Reed Richards fix it, or it's not good?
Let me turn my thing up. I can't hear you that well.
Oh, let me check my. Hold on.
You hear me all right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm hearing you good. Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. No, I just
that could have been just me.
Well, you sound really good. So how's the new mic? Reed Richards hooked you up?
It was More Fun. Number 101. Okay. More fun 101. Thanks, Fanty. There you go.
So the new mic looks like it's sounds like it's working pretty good.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was distracted. Yeah, I can't. I get fuzzy on some of this sometimes. All right. So there you go. More fun comics. Why do I said that, then I backtracked and got it wrong when I backtracked. I'm terrible. Fanty says you should attempt at some point to figure out if 84 or 84 is the bigger year, or if there are any other contenders for the best year. I will, Fanty. Yeah. I hear you there. So what's up with you?
Oh, not much. At a political meeting tonight, so home late. Boring local yokel politics stuff.
I hear you.
But we had good food at the dinner, at the meeting. So, have you ever had fried macaroni and cheese before? Deep fried macaroni and cheese with the you think of chicken nuggets, but with the macaroni and cheese.
Oh wow!
Have you had that?
Oh my goodness, I don't think so.
Oh, you would love it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was thinking of Nick as I was eating it. They're like in triangles. And someone's like, what are those? We had corn fritters, which are good, but the deep fried mac and cheese, so it's like a mac and cheese chicken nugget, basically, with the deep fried coating. Sorry, it's late and people probably don't want to send them to the refrigerator, but that was good. Yep.
Wow. That sounds good.
Yeah. So it's a meeting, but it was good. Yep.
Nice. Get to some of these starred ones here, folks, that I've solicited myself here. I work in recycling, says Picasso. I saw a lot of free comic book day books trashed. It made me sad. Well, they overprint a bundle of those. Hey, Tyron Lethbridge, good to see you.
Hell.
And then they charge the comic shops for those. Those comic shops pay for that to give them out. And obviously they make them order a certain quota of them as well, or that certain amount. And so comic shops get stuck with that stuff for years. Because they don't, you never know how many people are going to come in on a Saturday, a free comic book day. And there was a time when more of them did. Now, nobody gives a rat's ass about new comics. So very few people show up at these comic shops. Now, some people have free comic book day and some comic shops make a bit of an event about it. Used to be really big. They were doing that a lot. Now, not so much. I just don't think they're doing that much, or they're making that much of a big deal about free comic book day anymore. I'm fairly sure they're not.
I think it used to be a much bigger deal. Remember when they had a Spider-Man comic that was part of the story that was kind of canon? I think there was a big deal about that one, but it turned out to be a comic that was set in the future, so the story didn't make sense. And a couple of them actually turned out to be worth something. But yeah, the idea is just to get kids in the store and give them comics and buy comics, but they're so damn expensive these days that it's basically become an adult collector. That are buying comics now, unfortunately. I mean, it should be young kids. No one wants them. They're too much money. So,
and they give away junk too. The free ones are usually like the best ones. When you do have when the events were actually meaning something, people would go up early and they would get all the good ones. And if you showed up at the end of the day, you'd be a bunch of crap. I don't know what's that. I don't care about that. Make some pizza rolls. Some pizza rolls, Max Wetzel on bourbon.
And Picasso, all mac and cheese is good, unless you're Ensign Tilly.
Yeah, I love
but she doesn't count because she's not a real ensign.
No.
I did clip a bunch of new Talkie Toaster clips. If you ever want any of those, but I think you're out of room on you. Yeah, go ahead.
No. Okay, we could. There's no room at all.
There might not be room, but I could go to the other one. But I'll do it in the background while you're reading your stuff.
Finish up these starred stuff real quick.
Yeah.
Joe Doug said I played Red Dead Redemption. Love the game. Okay. So there's a recommendation someone was asking earlier. Smilex says, the comic that really pulled me into Marvel was 84's Secret Wars. Jim Shooter had a fierce reputation. How do you think he did? Personally, I wasn't a big fan of Secret Wars. I like a lot of Jim Shooter's work. Smilex, his Legion stuff, his Avengers, and I love his Valiant stuff. I was not big on Secret Wars when that came out. Again, it was 84, and like I said, I was 20 years old. I did not take it seriously. Didn't like the Mike Zeck art too much. Thought the story was it was basically just a bunch of characters cobbled together as a toy sales gimmick. So personally, I never liked that series much, and I was very cruel to it, I must admit. But I do know that a lot of people, because it's always about personal experiences with comics, and when you read them and when you experienced them. So I totally understand, and yeah. I get you. Then, yeah, but I wasn't big on it, but I'm glad you like it. And you are not the only one. I know a lot of people that are very nostalgic about Secret Wars. Mars Monkey Max says RR was sent here by an alien race to gather data on the human race and see if they're worth saving. He forgot his mission when he became addicted to Clobberin times. Oh, well, I don't think he's addicted. But I'm glad he's here. Thank you. Vandy Outside, he says, and what he did to Crypto, which deserves a John Wick visit. Yes, sir. What he did to Crypto makes one want to kick his teeth in.
Didn't he admit that was a mistake later too, or
he admits it, and he also puts the blame, like he always does. He pushed the blame on it for editorial
editors, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He did that with the stupid She-Hulk being the FF stuff too. R says, honestly, Clobby, all that pales in comparison to what writers have done to Superman since 2020. I have mixed feelings about Byrne's Superman. He was a lot more fallible, but learned from his mistakes. I don't disagree I disagree with that part, but I don't disagree, RR, that they've done worse to him since then, but the damage had been done. I mean, I'd already tapped out. And I didn't care anymore. And so when they started abusing him, the real abuse to Superman, the 90s was, to me, the 90s stuff might be the worst. The killing him and then knowing it was a phony killing because then we're going to bring him back and then replace him with a bunch of idiots for a while, then bring him back and turn him into Mullet Man and Mullet Boy, and then turn him into red and blue Ice Capade Superman and all the lousy shit they did to him. Having him marry Lois, sorry, and then in the 2000s, they kind of got rid of some of that stuff, and he was just sort of close to sort of normal for a while. Then the Screw 52 screwed him over again. A lot of it had to do with the big fight with the sequel family. I understand that, and yes, and after that, you get before that, you got crap like Superman Returns. You get crap like what they did to him on that Crisis thing on the CW. You get the Snyder drivel, the Man of Steel, and all that trash, and bitch versus shite. And yeah, so he's been treated horribly for a long time after that. But all retconning and revising and all this kind of shit, it all has to start somewhere. And it starts with Byrne. Byrne started all this crap. His was the most sweeping, biggest and most sweeping of all the reboots ever done in comics. Not the first, but the biggest. And what do you think spawned all of the big time reboots and retcons that we got after that were inspired by what he did? I guess it just makes sense that it would be the world's most important superhero, the first one, Superman, that would usher in the biggest trend of revisionism and retconning ever that led to so many other lousy, shitty ones that you may well like. I mean, dislike even more than that one, but everything starts somewhere. And bad rebooting and retconning started with that. Like I said, it wasn't the first to do it, but it was the first to do it really recklessly. Let me put it that way. And usually crap rewarded is crap repeated, and monkey see, monkey do, and all that stuff. People are going to do that. And it led to this bad precedent in comics to where Sweeping changes and retcons and revisions to a character lead to short-term immediate gain, as in sales. Therefore, if we keep doing, and it's a gimmick, we keep doing gimmicks to these characters, we'll have these short-term surges of profits, and then when it goes back down again, it's we got to come up with the next gimmick. It's like the what's the good analogy to that? Like something where you get the more you energy you put into something, it gives you a bigger boost, but it also goes away quicker, and eventually you start building up immunity to it, and eventually it doesn't work anymore. Eventually the gimmicks stop working, just the same way as that happens in principle in other forms and other ways of life. And eventually it caught up to them. If you didn't like the Screw 52, if you didn't like some of the other things they've done, Rebirth, or some of the other things they've done to characters, the biggest one the first one that started all that stuff, and it took these things take a long time. They don't happen overnight. It was Byrne's Superman reboot. The only other sweeping reboot that was done before that was not. I mean, that was the first sweeping one where a guy comes along with his ego because he's a superstar in comics, and he says, nothing ever happened to, in this case, Superman, the biggest superhero of all time, unless I say so. And they let him have a free hand to sweep away all the lore that went before, from to dump on all the creators that went before, to do what he wants. And he got bored playing with it after about 2 or 3 years, and he left. And it was a mess when he left. And then that allowed Frank Miller, love him to death or not, come with Batman Year One and change all kind of crap that got ignored too. The George Perez, you can love him to death, I love him. Came in with Wonder Woman, did the same thing. They did it to Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Same, all around the same time. And then after, why bother? They undid all the terrible dumb changes that Crisis did. The only other moderate reboot that had been done before was in the 50s when they changed the Golden Age characters into the Silver Age characters. The Golden Age Green Lantern and Flash were changed into the Silver Age versions because Julian Schwartz wanted more science fiction based characters, but he didn't wipe the other ones out, and he made it a different Earth. At least he didn't say we're just going to replace him. He didn't say that the lore for these other characters never happened or any of that stuff. And in fact, he purposely created multiple worlds for them. He didn't mean for them to be abused like they are now. He did it so the Golden Age fans could still have their characters, and the Silver Age fans could have theirs. That's how you do it. Not the way Byrne and Jeanette Kahn and Marv Wolfman and all these people did it, where they come along and say, hey, that stuff that went before didn't happen. You don't like it? Go screw. Pound sand. And John Byrne said, nothing will ever happen to Superman unless I say it did. Hey, John Platt, good to see you. And that's the worst for me. Burns was the worst because all the bad ones that came after it, so many other fans go, Burns wasn't that bad. Boy, it was way worse later when they did this, that, and the other. It happened because of Byrne. His was the seed that made the little acorn grow into a big pile of shit. And, of course, it's my opinion that it's shit. What is not an opinion is that Byrne definitely, with the help, with the authority of Jeanette Kahn, who was really the boss, hiring him and stuff. Jeanette Kahn, John Byrne, and a bunch of other names. They're the ones that set in motion all the shit that destroyed superhero comics. Off the soapbox now.
Don't fall. No, it's very true though. With the, some people mentioning, Secret Wars and Ragnar is, when you had when you did those crossovers in the beginning, you were just so excited by them, and some of them were really good. I mean, Secret Wars was, it was a total gimmick, but as a young kid, I enjoyed it. It wasn't a great. Probably looking back, it's not the best story, but there's also different levels of enjoying comic books too. But I think we did that one night. We went through all the exponential crossovers and how it just took off and became a thing. And it also ruined like reading a lot of comics. Like we were talking about Nightfall the other night, and I did happen to like Nightfall, but then they were putting in, certain issues and I shouldn't say obscure titles, but titles not necessarily related to Batman. If it's in Robin or something, obviously, but to get every title, he had to buy, all the different books. It's just super annoying. Of course, the X-Men were very guilty of that. Just always having the big events, and after a while, you just got sick of them. And sometimes it's like, yeah, it's just a ploy to get us to buy books. Oh, Apollo's Minions here.
Hey,
Hello.
Apollo's Minion.
So that's when it gets annoying too, because they're going after your wallet, and it's a gimmick, and they're just trying to, and then it's a short-lived gain too, right? You know, maybe you buy it, but then after a while, people get sick of the damn, crossovers and don't want to deal with them anymore.
Even if you enjoy certain crossovers, when you're reading, you're going, yeah, but this is still a gimmick just to get me to buy every crossover. I can name you one time. And I've talked about this before, folks, or maybe none of you were here when I did. One time I can name, again, you might name me 3 or 4 crossovers you loved as a kid, that's fine. I'm talking about as someone, and haven't read this one in a while. And I'm going to go back and reread it again soon, the whole thing. I can name you one time that a crossover felt organic, that it worked, that it fit, it was set up perfectly, and I didn't mind at all buying all the crossover books. And the story was just as good as any story that it didn't even have to be. I mean, it was a crossover because it had to be. It felt like it. This story doesn't work unless you do it as a crossover, and it's so brilliantly woven together. It was seamless, and yes, it crossed over into the other books of this company, but deservedly so. As you felt like any other one, you feel like, oh God, each issue is just, I'm buying this one, and it just takes me out of what the story's supposed to be, because this issue, one of the cross issues, has nothing to do with the main story. It doesn't even feel like it's pertinent to it at all. I can name you one time where a crossover didn't do that, where a crossover made me feel like it was organic and it was a great story. AJD Lewis.
AJD.
Crisis opened the door for Byrne. For Byrne, Crisis was a great story, but the aftermath messed up the DC decades. Good night, buddy. And Crisis, to me, wasn't much of a story for person, but that's another argument. And I wanted to show that there's one exception, and this wasn't, by the way, this Crisis was not really to sell toys or anything. It was just to sell their other titles, I guess, maybe, but it wasn't even that. And I've talked about it before. It's called Unity by Valiant Comics in the early 1990s. Again, it's so obscure. I don't know if some of our friends have probably read it, but
I haven't read that. No.
This, of course, Ace Cast Iron.
Hey, Ace.
What's up, buddy? He said, dude, my favorite X-Men Teen Titans. Yeah, X-Men Teen Titans was a crossover from a intercompany crossover.
That was fun.
We reviewed that recently on Nick's show. But I'm talking about a crossover, multiple, company, a company crossover, not a crossover from companies. Well, one shot thing. This was a Unity saga for Valiant Comics in the 1990s. John Platt says, Clobby, what did you think about Wolverine, Enemy of the State? Personally, I love the idea of turning Wolverine into the rest of the superior friends, allies. I read that way back when it came out. No problem, Ace. Good to see you there, bro. I get when I talk crossovers though, Larry, I love the Spider-Man Superman one, yeah. But I didn't like Enemy State too much, but to be fair, I didn't like the John Romita Jr. art much on that. And I remember I did read it way back when it came out. I believe it's the Mark Millar one, right? John, am I remembering that correctly? But mine is fuzzy. So let me know if I'm getting that right. Mark Millar, John Romita Jr., Wolverine, and Electra's in it or whatever. Let me know if I'm getting that right. Oh, they did a sequel to Unity. How dare them? Screw that noise. So it crossed over to all these series. This was in the early 90s. Valiant was so good. This was put together by some, not just Jim Shooter, but Bob Layton, Barry Windsor Smith, and a few other people. And it was incredible because it started out their series before they did the crossovers, some Simonson covers. So that the series were Solar Man of the Atom, Rye, Harbinger, Shadow Man, Magnus Robot Fighter, Archer and Armstrong, Exo Man of War, and Eternal Warrior. And of course, I have the big slipcase cover of this one. And then I love this Barry Windsor-Smith art. I mean, you never read any of the Valiant comics, huh?
No, never read any of them, but I keep hearing how good they are. So
I love them. Yeah, Millar Ramirez. Yeah. I read that way back when it came out. Larry says Superman Spider-Man crossover. I believe my good buddy Ace Cast Iron and I, Larry, reviewed the first Superman Spider-Man team up from 1986 a couple years back. And Ace, dude, we need to review the second one of these days again, buddy. Let me know when you can. So, yeah, I love this comic. Man, it was trying to find some more. They had so many great series. When they started out, I mean, that's the thing. They let themselves build up to them very well. Solar Man of the Atom was brilliant. Magnus Robot Fighter was excellent, of course. Oh yeah, I have the big like slipcase edition of Unity Saga. Where's the big cover? Damn it. Fuck girl, Rick Bourbon. Sorry. Let's see. Absolutely. I loved Magnus reveal tie-in. Yeah, with they got a great reveal in there. Yeah. Always loved Eternal Warrior. We were talking about the other day, one of my buddies when the Gulf Coast Geek Gang were in town, or we're visiting Saturday. We got to talking about this, like crossovers, and we talked about this one, how good it was. And we all remembered it. I'm like, man, I need to go back. I got every issue of Valiant for the first 3 or 4 years, and even after Unity, it wasn't quite as the same right after Unity. It was still good for a couple of years, and then they branched out with some more titles. But the original ones, man, I mean, they were just so good. They went for a couple of years before they started Unity, and because I wasn't buying very many mainstream comics at the time. I was kind of sick of them. Oh yeah, he borrowed my collected editions for the first time. Yeah. Oh yeah. Eternal Warrior. And basically, as you may or may not know, Magnus and Solar were from the old Gold Key comics. I'm sure you've seen those old covers of old Magnus Robot Fighter and Solar Man of the Atom. Dr. Solar Man of the Atom, that is.
Yep.
No, not Magnus Robot Hunter. Magnus Robot Fighter, your Muslim uncle.
Oh, there's a difference? Oh,
Yes.
It's just different, same character, or just different series?
I don't know about that rumor, but it's just a rumor. No, Dr. Solar and Magnus Robot Fighter were two comics from the 60s called
Oh, okay.
with those titles.
Yeah.
And then Jim Shooter was able to get the rights to do those. And then he created a bunch of other characters around them. The character of one of the things that was very similar to a lot of things in other comics was, how just about every hero universe has some kind of invading aliens type things, whether it's Skrulls or, they all have something, right?
Yeah.
Well, in this case, it was these spider aliens who were kind of their invader. And this character here, let's see, let me find Exo Man of War. This guy right here. What I loved about him, Bob Layton, of course, who did so much great Iron Man stuff, as you know.
Of course.
He created Exo. Exo, that armor is like it's a living armor, but it landed in the past during like the Conan age, basically. And it landed on this. It joins with a being, and it becomes its protective armor with all of its technology. And it's an organic armor with a barbarian that's basically Conan. And it hibernates it into the snow until it gets to the 20th century. And so he's basically a Conan walking around in our time with that armor. And so he's a great character. He's a friggin' nut. I mean, he's he just doesn't give a shit, and he has to learn how to make it in our time. But see, Magnus Robot Fighter is from year 4080 or whatever it is, something like way in the future. And yes, he fights evil robots. He's mean to robots. Magnus is mean to robots. You've seen him.
That's not very nice.
You see the old covers, right? Of the old.
Yeah, I've seen some. Yeah, I've seen some of them. Yeah, but
yeah. Sentai, Roger, Power, Danger. Man, your new name's messing me up. Sentai, Ranger, Donnie. What's up, folks? That's good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. No, I probably just remembered it wrong. Yeah, Robot Fighter. Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at some Magnus Robot Fighter. Anyway, that's a great crossover. And that's a great Archer and Armstrong. I love them. Barry Windsor Smith. Eternal Warrior was great. Let's see here. Magnus Robot Fighter.
Well, while you're finding that, there's a question someone has for you.
You don't want any toast, then?
No.
What about a muffin?
Nothing?
Is that all you got?
Oh, I got a lot, but you got to wait between them, otherwise, because they're all in series. So,
okay, go ahead.
Them too close together. Here's another one. That should be.
I got you. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, because if you play them back to back to back, then it's like playing the whole show. So here.
This is cruel.
Look,
It's just cruel.
I'm busy.
Oh, you're not busy eating toast, are ya?
Those aren't as good as the later one, but I get you.
I know, but I finished. I'm going in order of episodes. So this was
okay.
This is Talking Toaster's first appearance. I wanted to make sure I have the complete Talking Toaster repertoire. So we're gonna have all of Talking Toaster eventually. But this is season 1, episode 4 of Red Dwarf. So I finally finished that. I finished that episode. You know, I'm kind of linear in that way, like Raquel. I
got you.
I don't want to go in order. Yeah. But we're eventually. But I have about 8 clips from that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, because
it kind of fits in with this because it's a robot,
right?
The Magnus Robot Fighter would not put up with Talkie Toaster.
No, yeah.
Clobby,
here's another one.
What's your favorite Micronaut story? Oh, hang on. Go ahead.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it just strikes me there might be something more, something greater, something unimaginably more splendid than heating bread.
Well, the question, I don't have one. I never really read Micronauts that much. However, I do know somebody who's very close to
likes the Micronauts,
who loves the Micronauts, and I will turn that question over to Mark. Mark, what is your favorite
let me ask
Micronaut story?
Well, let me ask Microtron. Let me ask Microtron what he thinks of oh, you can't see Microtron there.
Hang on.
So we'll ask him what his favorite story is. I think the classic easy answer, and that's my Microtron that I have to restore. Got to get the new stickers and clean them up, but and find some tank treads. But that's probably the first 1 through 12. It tells that one story in total of the fight against Baron Karza. And originally they wanted to do, I think I read 48 issues or 60 issues, and then they told the Golden and crew, "Now you've only got 12 issues to get this done." And who knew that would make it through as many issues as it did. I think it made it to what, in the 50s or no 60. What did Micronauts make it
60 something or other?
Yeah, and then they did the New Voyages where I think they did about 35.
Oh yeah, they brought it back. Yeah, he did the he did it like in the 40s or something.
Yeah,
40, so 40s.
So if you're gonna start, you're gonna do 1 through 12, or
get the omnibus.
Yeah, get the omnibus, and then the New Voyage. I did like the New Voyages a lot. A lot of people didn't like. I just love the whole series. The New Voyages is more, I don't want to say Star Trek like, but it's more space exploration, and that ran 20 issues. So that ended in 1996. But and Bug has appeared a few times since then. He appeared in with Star-Lord, and he appeared in some of the comics with Peter David. I think it was the Marvel comics, but So more the problem with the IP is Marvel created Marionette, Arcturus Rand, who's Force Commander, and Bug, but I think Hasbro owns the Micronauts. The property keeps getting getting sold, but the problem is that it's a mixed property, so they could technically use Bug in those characters, but they can't use a Croyer, who is one of the coolest badass warriors. He's kind of like a Klingon, and he in terms of his warrior personality, but they can't use him because they don't have the rights to him anymore. So it's yeah. And here's one of my time traveler figures.
You think he would like any toast?
I think he would love some toast, even though he's a time traveler. Yeah, we're playing another one, right? Yep. How about this one?
I'm toast. Therefore I am.
Will you shut up?
That's a good one. Yeah. And someone's meant your Muslim uncle is mentioning clams. Oh no, who's mentioning?
Why?
You're not mentioning clams.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he's referring to.
Yeah, well, we can fix that. Yeah. So we were watching Smokey and the Bandit last night.
Mm-hmm.
So what I didn't realize I had forgotten watching it again is the Bandit is a big fan of clams.
We're on our way to Boston to get some clam chowder.
So I really like the Bandit now.
Boston bastard.
For some clam chowder.
Well, Max would like some toast.
He would, yep. Yeah. There we go.
What's the point of buying a toaster with artificial intelligence if you don't like toast?
I do like toast.
I mean, this is my job.
This is my job. Here's another good one.
You know the last time you had toast? 18 days ago, 11:36, Tuesday the 3rd.
Yeah, so I'll show you.
That does add more context to when you only play that other one about the toast.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people don't know if they haven't seen the show. They want to. What is that supposed to?
Yeah, if you haven't seen the show, yeah. So here's Microtron, and of course, don't mess with Microtron. Don't make him angry. And he's got a. You can put the character can sit on the top here. He can sit with the peg there. And he's got a different head too, but and I think the arms. I've got to restore the motor, and the tank treads always give out, so that's on the project. I just started painting this too, so I've got it's glossy paint, so I got to put matte paint, and I got to do different color oranges and add some yellows. But I just did the lines in between it.
Ezra Goldstein.
Hey Ezra, shalom.
Shalom.
So I got to paint the eyes, and
yeah, cool.
So I got to paint them, and then here was I bought this the other day. Oh,
nice.
Like that part. Here's the Bandit. Doesn't come with Sally Field though, but
too bad. That's a great car. T-tops. The Bandit.
The classic.
The Bandit. That is it is a classic.
Yeah.
Old Pontiac.
See, this is better than looking at a new comic.
Trans Am.
Does the hood open? Oh no, the hood doesn't open.
Well, probably shouldn't have said that now. We get in trouble calling it that now.
Yeah, you would, yep.
T-Zam.
It's just an am.
It's an am.
An am.
Oopies. I guess I'm probably demonetized.
Yeah, does it say Smokey on the back? I guess it
says Smokey and the Bandit on the back.
Yeah.
It said, "Oh, don't show that." Oh my God! It says blank am. Blank am. Too late now. I've already said it. So
yeah.
Right. Pizza rolls. Would you like some? We're talking across some more pizza rolls. What happened to the pizza rolls?
Pizza rolls are good. I got some in the freezer, but
I like pizza rolls.
Make them tonight. There we go.
Smokey and the Bandits, among others. Things is a testament to the fact
Don't read
that
the
Sally
last part.
Field was a. I need to read these before I post them up there. I know. I mean, I don't disagree, but.
Well, that was a famous scene in the car
Mhm.
last night when.
I never learn. I always just read. I
You
see
never
something. I go, let me just read it when
I
I get
mean,
it up
that's the
there.
harmless. That's harmless, Max.
It's harmless to us, but the algorithm
Yeah.
doesn't is ridiculous. But it don't matter.
Yeah.
Can't really.
You should have written You should have written piece of glass, and we would
You
have
can
known
get-
what you meant.
Even having it get into the chat is an algorithm risk. So whatever.
Yeah.
I love that car. Though. Like I said, my dad had a bunch of them on his lot over the years after that. It was it was a good thing to have.
Oh God, yeah.
It was a popular car. My brother, I was too young to have one at that point when it first came out, but my brother had one. Well,
it's a good one to take
it was a
ladies out
lot
for
car.
date with, right? Yep.
It was a lot car, but he got to drive it. I
Lucky
got to
guy.
drive one much later, but just around a little bit, not like that's my driver. By Eddie Assey.
Yeah, very, very good. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I did clip that clip with Sally Field last night. That was, and part of the thing they said, some people were saying that she wasn't sexy enough for the role. It's like, are you ridiculous?
She was no flying nun.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, she's got more of the girl next door look, but she's very, very cute. So, and they definitely had a charm together, and you could tell that, they really,
Yeah. Hey, Parker Luck.
really did like each other. But Jackie Gleason was just so good in that role. That movie doesn't work without Jackie Gleason being so good in that role.
Parker says, so we can't refer to Kit from Knight Rider. Must be awful to talk about these days. I'm not sure I follow that. I'm not sure.
What does KIT stand for? Night Industry something. Technology.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely Night Industry. Yeah.
Industries. Yeah, Night Industries. Talking Twinkle Twat. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not.
KIT stand for. I should know that.
Yeah, but you said something about we can't say it though. I mean, in other words, I don't think there's anything.
Night Industries 2000. Oh, I should have known that. Oh, come on.
Oh,
That's but yeah, because it's a Pontiac Firebird.
But it's not a T-Fan.
It is, yes. It is, yep.
It is, yeah, but it's not. Okay, there you go. But you can't.
It is, yep.
Okay. It was? Okay, that's right. It just that's not the same. Hey, Chief Shadow.
Yep.
Well, Jackie Gleason was fantastic. Oh, man. So
that was William Daniels, yep.
Sheriff, do the letters F-O mean anything to you? Small rabbit, son of a birch. Oh, man. I wish I'd have been able to be there with you last night. That's a quotable movie.
Yeah,
So-
too bad your mic
Yeah.
died, yep.
Yes, sir. I was just lucky to get one back in.
Did you have any problems getting it set up and anything? And it was all
No,
easy.
even I could do it.
Easy peasy.
So far,
Good.
anyway. If you're hearing me all right, then I must have done something
No,
right.
it's not good. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yep. Well, we do. Chief Shadow agrees about Jackie Gleason. So let's play. I think this is the best clip in the whole movie, or one of them.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
He's got a lot of them though, but I can't even.
Oh, a lot of them. Yeah, I have about 40 clips.
I can't even get close to saying them. So, but he like some toast or no?
Yeah, I think he would like some toast. Yeah.
It just strikes me there might be something more, something greater, something unimaginably more splendid than heating bread.
Oh, yeah, but you don't have any from the White Hole episode yet, do you?
No, I got to get there. Yep.
Those are the best. No problem. No, I'm just curious.
I'll eventually
love
get
that.
there. Yeah, I'm slow at certain things, but
sometimes just go watch that. Go watch those clips just for that clip. So, all right. Well, what else you got going on other than this nonsense?
Well, I might do if anyone's up for it, maybe I'll do a watch party for Kolchak after the show. If anyone's up for that.
I watched it
for the vampire. You already watched? Oh, then you could have joined us. Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to do that, but it's fine.
No, I was just thinking of it now because if not, I got to do 2 hours tomorrow. So let me know in the chat if anyone's up for it. Just watch it now. Yeah.
Robot.
Or after the show. Yep.
See, robots were being abused back then. Magnus Robot Fighter was mean to robots, man.
Yeah. Did he make them do lots of calculus too? Lots of math?
Probably.
Yeah, very mean, very mean. Yep, yep.
Now it's fine. That show says Larry.
Larry's up for it. All right, yeah, maybe we'll do it. Yep, yep. Oh, and I got a lot, and I got a lot to clip for tomorrow. Is that the Gambit episode?
Gambit.
Is that when they go
God,
to,
yeah,
you know?
I love it. Yeah.
There's a couple of good lines in that one.
Wes Cagle, I do love Hooper. That's an underrated. They didn't do that one, but that's a great movie. You know, but I love Smoking the Man. It's probably my favorite, but I got Hooper in my second. He's got him the other way around. He says Hooper's his favorite. I don't blame you though. Hooper's hilarious. People just always run by that one, don't think of it, but it was a lot of fun. Pretty cool. Yes, sir. Well, but yeah, that's cool. Got to get up early anyway.
You got a job tomorrow to do?
Yes, sir.
Good. Well, that's good, right?
It is good.
It's yeah.
I mean, today I didn't feel like going anywhere because I was really paranoid about whether I was going to get the microphone in or not.
Oh, you want to wait to make sure that you
made it. So
yeah,
it was shocked.
What time did you get it? Was it
around 2 or something?
Oh, good. Yeah, it wasn't like
they didn't knock on the door or anything. I had to kept going and checking outside. One more, I go, oh, there it is. Thank you for not knocking.
I just left it, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they did, I didn't hear. To be fair,
yeah.
Look at that. I want that Magnus figure. I think that's a custom. Yeah, Magnus is one bad mother. And then, of course, Valiant got a hold of him. And it was really good, though. The Valiant run was good also.
Oh yeah, your Muslim uncle. Yeah, I just ordered it. Yeah, omnibus people have been getting there. So, yep, it's out. Yep. Now, does it include the whole run, or is it? Even looked and bought it. Does it include?
I don't think they can fit the whole run in there.
They couldn't fit.
There's got a lot of good, like 20 something issues, 20, 30 issues.
Yeah, let me check to see.
No, Parker. People talk about Transformers all the time. You say the words fast or whatever. I'm being facetious when I say that, but I'm not saying it's. But it's not out around possibility that you can get in trouble. I am being somewhat facetious. However, people, with these algorithms on YouTube, there's certain things you do have to watch. And like if we had a show about said Transformers, my buddy J-Man talks about Transformers. Now you're fine, but I mean, but that's not the word. Transformers is one word. It has a big franchise out there. People talk about it a lot. They don't make the Pontiac Trans Am anymore, so not many people talk about it very much. But largely, I'm just kind of goofing around, being silly.
But sometimes you do have to watch what
Oh, you do.
Everything you say on YouTube is recorded, and they have AI going through and listening to everything. And then if something gets flagged, I'm sure then they have a human listening to it. But sometimes it's just a lot of my streams get demonetized, so I don't even bother with late night Fortnite. But a lot of my Sunday night geekeries get demonetized, or limited, I should say. It's like, what did I talk about? That my show is pretty, pretty, generally friendly. So you wonder sometimes, but it's just they tell you it's an AI listening to it, and you can ask for a human review. But for me, it's not worth it's not worth it. But it is pretty annoying. Stuff, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What about Dr. Solar? Ever see him?
I've seen him, but not bought any of his bought any of the comics. Yep.
Yeah, he had some cool covers. I mean, the gold key covers, so really badass. Some of them. Man, that comic was so good. The one when they brought it back to Valiant. Crabble nuts. So, anyway. All right, let's go ahead and cut this nonsense out. All right, my friends. Well, appreciate y'all hanging out with us for the wild card. It's always great to have you here. Do appreciate it. It's good to be back in the saddle, so to speak. Let's see what is coming up. Mark, anything coming up? Do you want to talk
Well,
about?
here, I'll create a stream. I'll create a stream for the Night Stalker right now. So
Go ahead.
I'll put the link in, and anything. Well, just of course the watch party for Blake 7 Gambit tomorrow, which is we're gonna all have to play Chester in that one, and I think I think you're gonna rate that episode pretty highly.
Chess.
I'm not sure yet.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, possibility.
There's
yep,
a possibility that I might like that one a little bit. You never know.
So this is episode 4 we're doing of Kolchak, which is Vampire, and I haven't done the other 3 episodes. Vampire, but let me schedule it for. I can always change the time. I'll schedule it for 12:45. Say by then we should be done, but I could start it earlier if we need to. Okay.
Yowzer.
So as soon as I create this, I shall put the link in. But yeah, thank you for letting me hang out with you, and I'm glad you're glad your mic is
Hopefully
working.
that's all for the time being. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it sounds pretty good, So,
thanks.
As long as it doesn't rebel, I mean, like Talkie Toaster.
Yeah, I mean, any reverb or anything?
No, it sounds good. Yeah. Do you have one of those screens in front of it, or?
I used the old one for the old. It didn't come with a. No, it didn't come. I'm not using that, but I did the the foam thingy that goes over a mic. Didn't come with one of those, but I put the old one on there. Thought that would help. I don't know if it helps or not.
Yeah, it helps sometimes with the.
But I did some tests,
lips and stuff. Yeah,
and a couple of times I can hear like I used to hear when I used to, like every now and then, like I would get some kind of reverb, but I thought maybe it's because I was on. It's got the stand and it's on before. I think it was because it was in that ceramic cup thing. I'm not sure exactly, or I would move the thing too much, but I decided I was doing it. It was doing it a little bit, Ted, on this one. But now, maybe it's when I move it. I'm not sure. But now so it was on the desk, right? So I put a towel under it on the desk, like to give it some cushion thing. Maybe that's keeping it from doing it. I hope. I don't know. It's just
yeah, because that helps from
reverbing on the desk.
Reverbing, yeah. When a hard surface, yeah. The sound, because that one's pretty close to the desk, I guess, right? It's it doesn't have a big stand, right?
Because it's on a tripod.
Yeah, but it's pretty close to the desk, yeah.
Well, the tripod, yeah, it's on.
Yeah. It's not, but it's not like a huge, big tripod that's like 2 feet off the desk.
And the tripod has like, I guess, I don't think that's rubber feet, but it's got, it's some kind of. But maybe I'm hoping on a towel like this it'll keep it like from reverbing. I don't know if it does, but anyway.
No, it's good. Yeah.
So, anything else to plug before I?
Nope. But yep, I'll see everyone tomorrow night, and and of course we'll have Sunday Night Geeker. And I'm going to do a members stream this weekend, so looking forward to doing that. And maybe it builds for my wife is away all weekend playing pickleball, so I got the house to myself. So I'm gonna
out of town.
Yeah, she's out of town, so I can make a mess, have keg parties, put all my toys everywhere. So yeah,
perfect. All right, then. Well, everybody, thank you for being here tonight. Let's do some show notes and shout outs. Tomorrow night, of course, I'll be at Tom Midnight's Ed After Dark show, of course, at 6 Central. But after that, it's Clobberin Times, Clobby Clubhouse. Blake 7 episode review, Gambit. Kolchak the Night Stalker episode review, the Vampire, maybe. And Star Trek Unlimited number 3, right? 3, I think.
Star Trek Unlimited number 3. Yep. We did 2 last week.
Yeah. So, and then Friday on the great J Man's channel, Fantastic Fridays. J Man, Sean, and myself continue in our ongoing mission. 4 more issues of Jack King Kirby's legendary run on the world's greatest comic magazine, Fantastic Four 1 through 102, annuals 1 through 6. Friday night, every Friday night on Fantastic Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be this week, Fantastic Four 13 through 16. So having fun there. And then, of course, on the great 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's channel, I'll be over there with that great group of boys and girls and boys and guys and badasses that they are. The great D-Bud Martin's going to be joining us too, because we're going to be reviewing more comics reviews. I love it. Amazing Spider-Man 41 through 44. The Romita era begins. And then, of course, Saturday night Star Trek, 9 p.m. In other words, same Trek time, same Clubby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. 4 more episodes of Star Trek Voyager Season 6. And then don't forget, Sunday night, End Your Weekend Geek. Sheet Geek. Mark D with a C, the Great Chiefs Engineers channel. Sunday Night Geekery. He'll give you the link. That's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, might even get hungry from the eatery, but we'll geek out. And it's always a great fun time to end the week. So, shout outs to our mods: Eric K, Chris Persia, D-Bud Martin, Lord Thoth, J-Man, Maddie Steady, Cal L, Fandy Outside, Max Redstone, Larry. And shout out to all of you who are with us here tonight. The great Ezra Goldstein. Shalom, my friend. Let's see. RRT and Z. Thank you so much. Stephen Mack. Joe Dog. Your Muslim uncle. Thank you so much, buddy. Parker Luck. Wes Cagle. Chief Shadow 1750. Hang on a second. There's more up. Sentai Ranger Donnie. John Platt. Ace Cast Iron, buddy. And of course, 2 great friends of mine were here tonight. Ace Cast Iron and 1701 Tex. Great longtime friends. Love you, brothers. J.D. Lewis. Apollome's Minion and the Pepperoni. Gwagnar. I thought I saw a Putin's cat. I did saw a Putin's cat. Putty tat. Picasso, you're my kind of town. Tyron Lethbridge. Son Lee. Smilex. And now I've gotten most of everybody, but you never know. There'll be some more. I think Adrian James was here. Claude Sowling was here as well. Can't forget them. Mars, Monkey Max, MMM. There'll be some more. Metamusness was here. Did I say Joe? I think it's a Joe Dog already. Well, Salty Traveling Sea, my friend. Good to see you. Brian Hepburn. I didn't see Brian Hepburn pop in. How'd I miss him? Sorry, Brian. Brian Hepburn. I thought maybe I didn't shout him out. I don't think I did, though. Damn, I'm sorry. Ravenscroft was here also. All right. Let's see. We like to get everybody. We don't like to miss anybody. Zacharot popped in. All righty. Penny was here. Penny. Let's see. Getting there, folks. Getting there. Mostly probably got just about everybody. But you never know.
Ali's Minion, did you get?
Oh, yeah.
You got her. Yep.
Sure did.
Shows you how good my memory is. Good.
Mine's wearing off on you. Let's see. Cinema Gulp. Hooray. By the way, I want to thank everyone who's lurking out there. Thank you, lurkers. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. It's always kind of you to be here. We really love it. And of course, anyone watching on a download or a rewatch, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And well, J-Man was here, but I already shouted him out.
Yep. So when the stream ends, it'll take you guys right to the watch party if you stick around.
Excellent. When stream
I
ends
have it
here,
set up. It'll go
right
automatically.
to the watch party. One thing I would ask
Automatical.
you, but what time is it going to start? What time are you starting at 12?
Well, I said 12:45, but I'll make it just whenever we get there. I'll.
Well, while you do, okay. Before I was going to ask you something. I made some changes and alterations to my list on the spreadsheet of the Trek episodes.
Okay.
But I don't know how to save it.
It saves automatically. That's the beauty of Google Docs. There's no
Jeremiah Embry. So if I just X out of it, it'll save it. Didn't save it last time I X out of it. I tried.
You have to be out of the cell. You can't be editing the cell. You have to click on a blank cell. If you're in a cell editing it, it won't let you'll say because it's waiting for you to exit out of that cell.
Okay.
But that's the beauty of it. You never have to worry about saving it.
FKH. So let me see. Let me try that then. Go out of a cell. Now I'm out.
Yeah.
I went out of all the cells. In other words, the rankings. Now what do I do?
Yep. Just
X
close
out?
it. That's it. Yep.
Dump it out. Just dump out.
Dump out. Yep.
Okay. Wow. And so now it's saved.
Yep.
Okay. Well.
So it's continuously saving as you work, but if you're in a cell typing something, it won't save.
That must have been what it was.
Yeah, that's happened to me the first time I did it. I'm like, why is it not it's giving me this warning? What's going on? It's like dummy, because you have to press enter. I'm calling me a dummy, not you.
No, I am a dummy.
Yeah.
Looks like it worked. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you put all. So I'm gonna go change it to alternative factors number 1.
There you go. You aren't supposed to spoiler that. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, there we go. We got I got that taken care of, and we got everyone shouted out. So thank you all so much, everybody. I truly appreciate you all. And yeah, let's see. Everyone have a wonderful remainder of your weekend. Hope we see you back here tomorrow night for the clubhouse. Good night, everybody.
Poker. You know the game?
The word is given.
Groovy.
You have to set an example, leaving in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
I just love Clobberin time.